pressure. Need to keep your mind thinking forwards. We saw some monumental plays in that last game, so yeah, I'm hoping that the nerves.
hello start हो गया नाइट स्ट्रीम साउंड वगैरह सही आ रही है अब एक बार चेक करो तो मेरा एक ईयरफोन का ही मेरा साइड है ना हेडफोन का ये खराब हो गया तो एक ही साइड से साउंड आ रही है मेरे को दूसरे में आ ही नहीं रही है
That can be a real detriment to your performance.
By the way, ये दूसरा मैच है। ये पहला मैच तो ऑलरेडी हो ही चुका है। ये दूसरा मैच है, पहला मैच अरीना नहीं जीता है मतलब। मैं एक साइड से ही आवाज आ रहा है, राइट से लेफ्ट में आवाज ही नहीं आ रही।
Okay, well speaking of height, right? The zone goes all the way up
तो खराब हो गई है by the way, जिसकी वजह से आवाज नहीं आ रही।
Crater Fields near the Hacienda del Patron area. We just saw this circle very not too long ago. In the last match, so trying to take a similar spot to what they had here. Arena, like, yeah, why don't we go that same spot we were at last time? We won from there.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit. It does keep a lot of those crater fields areas in, but it is
Sound
right in terms of that location. Aurora spotting a player from Furia, but Coops will not stop in just one game. He's going to find shots onto them again. Definitely be aware of his location this time around. But losing a player, you know, for Furia, that's
let's go, guys. Let's go.
Not
finally, finally.
It's tough. I mean, you're trying to rotate and losing.
जैक क्या नहीं खराब हुआ है, मेरा जैक खराब हुआ है, एक जैक ऊपर वाला खराब हुआ, उसमें माइक का साउंड ही नहीं आता उसमें। CPU का जैक खराब है, क्या नहीं मेरा खराब हो गया भाई।
And all these players just ridiculously good at shooting people out of vehicles. And Jiggle, Aura, I heard the crowd pop off. Jiggle ends up taking out quick from Aula.
I mean, they did it last time very early on. This time it's taken them a couple more minutes, but same start to unfold. Aura managed to transition down towards that south and look to control the really sharp high ground that sits to the east of Crater Fields and overlooks a lot to that south side. So a powerful position for them to hold if they can maintain it. A little crash between Flash.
नहीं सर ठीक है आउटपुट साउंड उतना भी ज्यादा नहीं उतना भी कम नहीं कम होगा तो बताना बढ़ा दूंगा ओके गाइस तो फर्स्ट गेम बाय द वे अरीना ने जीती अरीना अभी भी 4 प्लेयर बाय द वे अरीना के दूसरे मैच में भी है गॉडलाइक बाय द वे 19 पॉइंट हो चुके हैं धीरे-धीरे ऊपर जा रही है ओजी के 10 ही है गॉडलाइक को अभी और थोड़ा ऊपर जाने की जरूरत है बाय द वे
That's what they have their eyes on here. No fear popping out the buggy though. Going to be putting some pressure onto Aurora. They're on the rotation and they're going to get caught out by Ulf. No fear's going to push up a little bit closer here. Scarface through the nade into the building, catches out top, and that is Aurora.
Big player
apart here in match number 2.
Only one player now left standing.
और अब फिर से हमला हो गई है और एक ही प्लेयर बाद बच रहे दो नॉक है आई थिंक
700 meters away from them right now in the shadow of Nick Galaxy on the west side. You just can't move. This is an easy set of flushes coming through. Ulf have got this road.
एक ही प्लेयर और आगे बचे हुए बाय द वे और एक टीम एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है आई थिंक S2G नहीं कोई एक टीम तो एलिमिनेट हुई है फिलहाल नहीं हुई भाई लिखाया था बट अभी 3 एलिमिनेशन बाय द वे यूएल ने निकाल दिए हैं इस मैच में और ने बाय द वे एक निकाले एनजीएक्स ने एक अरीना ने एक और वीआईटी ने भी बाय द वे एक निकाले हैं गॉडलाइक का अभी तक बाय द वे खाता नहीं खुला है इस मैच में गॉडलाइक का खाता नहीं खुला फिलहाल इस मैच में और ये बाय द वे जोन जो है बनती हुई दूसरे मैच में भाई लोग लेट्स गो गाइस
always land on that southern end, so a northern circle like this makes them late to the circle. We'll see what their decision making is here as Tianba looking to put themselves in a slightly more central position as Sleepy gets a nice knock there onto Aaron.
S2G are also pushing in from this northeast side. Aaron down allows Tianba to move in. Eagle and Milu in with the same vehicle, but there's a beautiful spray down. What a response coming through from Solus, holding in the face of the push. QZ wants to try and turn it around, but Solus has more left in the ammunition. Wow! We'll find a third. Looking for now the last player of Tianba. QZ with the M249 is being hunted. Ketch steps into the fight as well to assist his teammate, but there is still more to do. QZ won't go down, but he finally falls, and Solus stands in the face of Tianba. Says not today.
Not today.
Tianba now eliminated हो गई guys.
As Ulf with a beautiful stiff arm onto Tianba. And oh, you can see the pressure is on. You can see the player catch relieved after that one. What a
by the way, कल 4 ही मैच हुए थे, तो आज हो सकता है ज़्यादा मैच हो। ये हालांकि दूसरा ही मैच चल रहा है। Okay, Godlike के by the way, मान्य और समय शॉम 4Y फिलहाल ब्रिज पे by the way गाड़ी लेके
It was being harried by Horror with the off angles there on the northwest side. S2G were putting pressure on the back of that, and it became a little bit too chaotic. They couldn't quite find their way through it. There was no way that they could navigate that storm, unfortunately. But for Solus, that is a monumental clip farm. Not quite a 1v4, Jukes, but it was pretty damn close.
That's as close to a 1v4 as it gets here, folks. I'm telling you, big plays coming out of here in the finals. Axel getting naded up pretty good, peppered by Al-Ula. Let's look at the replay here. Solus with these headshots. Taking out that
और URF
and still finding himself some good movement here.
Oh, versus Tian के बीच में जो fight हुआ था, I think.
Pops a nade on accident and gets the knock.
Oh, okay, we're back in with Al-Ula versus Vitality. One over the top, looking for
Vitality से fight हो गया ULA का.
Onside for Al-Ula, but there is damage pouring back over towards Vitality as Razy now and Axel have to step into the fight to try and keep this one going. Razak gets shut down though as S2G are flowing out to third party on the north side here. Kamikaze, Solke, both moving into position. Lost is out on a north wide flank too.
And Axel trying to find some high ground here, trying to find an off angle. Razy just forced her to just run out in the open, no vehicle to his name. Trying to be able to help out Federalis. Federalis is knocked, and it looks like he will be thirsted here because this is taking a long time. Meanwhile, S2G decided to just back things up. Say, you know what, we don't want none of this. This zone going down south. Let's prioritize that instead. And Razy is going to start cresting that hill. Can he spot out one of these players of Al-Ula? He sees Rep. When he's going to take that shot? No, does not see a good sight line. Decides to back on up.
Yeah, it doesn't have the team shots to be going, well, doesn't have a team to take shots with. Is more accurate here for Razy. You need to be 100% sure that you can lock down a knock, or maybe even a flush. Ida getting rolled down by Orangutan there. Nicely done, but there's still a little bit more to do. Ida.
Okay, OG fight लेती भी अब.
Rita now the last to stand. Aru and Atanki about face for another approach. Rita cooking a nade to try and slow things down, but there's an off angle coming through from Arena, who is stepping up and forcing him over the ridgeline into the firing line of Orangutan, who get 4.
IDA eliminate हो गई है by the way. 2 टीम eliminate हो गई है IDA और Tian by the way जो टीम eliminate हो गई है फिलहाल.
So far, starting to turn things up, but here we go. It's the White Rabbits battling it out against Fourth Rock.
Okay, Arena फिर से fight ले रही है.
Be good enough. Arena just putting in that work, and they're going to keep their whole team alive.
40 by the way eliminate हो चुकी है guys.
Done. We saw Razy doing a lot of work against Al-Ula. Hang on a minute. This is a solo? A solo against Al-Ula on the north side? Where did that come from? Razy's popping off on the north as a solo.
3 eliminations. Razy putting the points here for Team Vitality. The Indo squad looking good here as they're going to be pushing into this next zone. And we're looking at this next circle as it is just south of Crater Fields. You got OG on that southern end right next to Arena. That battle should happen out any soon. And now you got Enigma Galaxy right next to Nongshim Red Force as well. Let's see how they're going to play this out. Coop's got that Mini 14 looking for that long-range headshot.
I'm also looking at S2G on the northeast side of the circle right now, Jukes. They have to push in, and as a 4, do you go in the shadow of Horror, or do you try and sweep down and push past Flash? But it is a difficult approach for S2G, and they do not have long to make that choice. I feel like they are committed much more up to the north edge and could potentially challenge Horror on that northern side.
Let's see how this is going to play out. Schwepp's got the high ground as well. This is still only stage 4 here, folks. Admino does get knocked, though, from Godlike. And
अब क्या हो गया? अब क्या हो गया भाई?
Mushed. So it's only going to be 2. Meanwhile, Aura from the high ground are trying to catch S2G out on the rotate here. Sleepy is able to put some suppressive fire, keep him away for now.
Let's go भाई लोग.
His buggy is smoking, and he's gonna get popped out of here by No Fear.
Okay, S2G के प्लेयर को और ने मतलब मारा है. एक प्लेयर को डाउन भी किया S2G के. नहीं डाउन नहीं हुआ है तो डाउन होता ही. Oh, वहाँ पे by the way smoke में by the way.
Really super beneficial to their long-term prospects in the circle though, which is good. Not the same can be said for Nick the Galaxy, E-Arena, Flash, Ulf. These teams gonna have to move when the time comes. So a good result, but if they keep getting picked apart with Razy still doing bits, hang on a minute, no, that was over the sky. So Horror are suffering. This solo Lone Ranger on the North Edge, Vitality, letting us know. Okay, this is the replay of the 1v, I think 3.
Yeah, there we go. Yasser catches him out as he pops out the vehicle. And then, pow, beautiful use of that ridgeline. Razy just picking apart Aula.
Why Vitality के solo player ने by the way?
Yeah, that was pretty clean.
पूरी squad उड़ा दी लग रहा है. 3 player को तो उड़ाया solo player Vitality के.
That would have been the coolest. But you know what?
Nice.
You're looking pretty cool already.
और के भी by the way एक ही player बचे हुए हैं. उसका भी हेल्थ कम आई थिंक वो भी जाने वाला है.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what Razy can do with it.
और आगे एक प्लेयर जिसका हेल्थ बहुत कम है. गॉड लाइक एलिमिनेट हो गई है भाई फिर से.
Doing a good job of applying that suppressive fire on these teams trying to find a way into this next zone.
कि और इसको
Razy.
होरा के एक प्लेयर को बाय द वे मारा गया है. विटैलिटी के मात्र सिंगल प्लेयर बाय द वे बचे हुए तब से और कमाल के खेल रहे बाय द वे.
He's weakened Horror's hold on this northern side as well, which I think is a really big factor here. With 4 players, Horror are basically unassailable.
ओ भाई ये क्यों हो रहा है? क्या हो रहा है? ये क्या हो रहा है? नेट का क्या ग्लिच हो रहा है ये नेट का?
Different conundrum altogether. Ulf could potentially have an opening road towards them if they don't go down in this spot because Sleepy has got that angle.
क्या ग्लिच हो रहा है नेट का भाई?
If he gets spotted.
देखो रिफ्लेक्स मारनी पड़ेगी क्या?
Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy
नेट तो सही चल रही है. ये क्या ग्लिच है भाई? यार क्या ग्लिच है ब्रो? नेट तो सही चल रही है मेरी. सबके हो रही कि मेरे ही हो रहे. मेरी नेट तो सही है ब्रो.
Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy
अच्छा यहीं पे प्रॉब्लम हुआ है ब्रो. मेरे नहीं सबके हुए आई थिंक. रुक जाओ सबके हुए. मेरे ख्याल से तो सबके हुए हैं. मेरे को भी लगा ना मेरे नहीं हुए. सबके हुए भाई सबके हुए.
Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy
सबके हुए भाई सबके हुए. अच्छा हिंदी में था ना. हिंदी का देख लेते हैं इंडिया वाला. सबके हुए हैं भाई सबके हुए हैं. अटक गई है स्ट्रीम में. अटक गई है वहीं की. चल तो रहे हैं. ये है ना?
Meanwhile, S2G got a little car wall set up here.
Oh, Furia on the move. Silence up and to the ridgeline. Jiggle will be aware of it. Razy completely hidden from Furia's radar right now. Operative word being right now.
Right now, and yeah, look at this. Silence. Gonna have to be silent here, but Razy, he knows something's up. Meanwhile, S2G got a little car wall set up here.
Oh, Furia on the move.
ये चल रहा है, I think फिलहाल तो पता नहीं उसमें कुछ glitch हुआ है.
Razy completely hidden from Furia's radar right now. Operative word being right now.
Right now, and yeah, look at this. Silence. Gonna have to be silent here, but Razy, he knows something's up. He's waiting for someone to peek that hill, waiting for someone to make the move. But instead, he's just gonna stay very, very quiet here. Uh-oh.
Up they go.
Jiggle, you better watch out. They're coming for you. Silence, driving up the hill little by little.
I think Razy's gonna get spotted here. Igor is gonna run straight into it potentially. Oh, maybe not. Darts back a little bit. They're waiting for the peaks. This negotiation on the north side is tense. S2G isolated right now on the southeast side of all of this. Sort of all just playing in the same spot. Looks like they're trying to start to move out now, which I like. I think it's the right decision. And we've got solos from Aurora, solos from Ulf, as well as Orangutan. Atanki may be the first of those to go down, but does take a fair chunk out of loss before he goes out.
Put some damage on the board.
Okay, eliminate हो चुकी है भाई साहब.
Clean this up here. They definitely need to win. They're in 12th place. Win will definitely put them in a good position here for the rest of the day. Furia, the same boat. Let's see who's going to take this chicken dinner, the Aura. Rocking a 2-1 split with Jiggle on the absolute high ground here. Don't forget about Doc, though. Aurora all by himself. He's still there. You can see him. He is just holding that spot and starting to soak up some placement points here. Only 6 teams remaining.
The thing for Aura right now is that they know there's a solo on the north side, which gives them a little minor advantage if there's going to be a third-party fight between them. From Vitality, he's gone so far.
तो रुक जाओ, refresh मार लेना ताकि exact live start.
Flexed out and is very close to Doc for Furia. That could be a dangerous spot if they're caught unawares. Oh, he's hopped out as well. Doc might just be able to get away with a free elim here. There's a nade in his hand. This is not where you want to be for Igor's. If he doesn't hear this pin, if he doesn't get out of the way, there might just be a free knock, but he's into the vehicle again. And I think he's read into it. He's up into the wall now. Doc has to hold his little shack out in the open.
Silence and Furia just waiting for this fight to happen. These guys are going to wait up to the last second here. The zone is closing. Okay, Jiggle backing things up, and he goes right into Razy.
भाई Vitality के एक player up जाके भरे हैं bro.
To be able to shut him down.
It felt like
nice,
there was an opportunity there. Jiggle stalling on the buggy slip, but just didn't quite finish off that spray in the backup from Horror.
किल भी उसने निकाला, प्लस अगर तुम देखोगे तो किल के साथ साथ अगर तुम देखोगे तो प्लेस पॉइंट भी उसने निकाला भाई साहब.
Oh, another solo goes down.
Nice.
That will be the final solo out. So we are playing 3v3v2 as Furia in with a chance here to put that chicken dinner on the board. Same story for all 3 of our teams. I feel like S2G are the most suppressed in their
Aura वाले वाले eliminate हो चुकी है.
And they're suppressed on the leaderboards too, right? So literally all these teams desperately need this game. Gonna be big points regardless. You can see right now, yeah, 8th place, 11th place, 12th place. It's gonna help them out big time. Let's see what No Fear can do with that high ground. This is stage 8, folks. The zone will be closing into nothing. Once that zone pops, Sleepy applying that pressure on S2G. He's got the intel now, knows exactly where they're at. He's got a couple nades. Gonna go ahead and use that high ground to try and get the shots. But, oh, Some big shots on the aura. That's no fear eliminated. That angle being gone is critical.
A really nice
Aura, S2G और फ्यूरिया, ये तीन टीम बाय द वे बची हुई है। Aura के एक प्लेयर है, फ्यूरिया के तीन प्लेयर है, S2G के दो प्लेयर है बाय द वे। फ्यूरिया का ज्यादा चांस है और Aura वर्सेस S2G फाइट भी हो रही है गाइस। ये Aura वर्सेस S2G फाइट भी हो रही है, प्लस फ्यूरिया के तीन प्लेयर है जो कि इन दोनों के बीच में फाइट हो रही है। उसके बाद फ्यूरिया से होगी तो भाई फ्यूरिया के पास चांस ज्यादा है, लेकिन इनके पास तीन प्लेयर है बाय द वे। ओ S2G के एक प्लेयर को डाउन कर दिया गया Aura ने। ओ S2G के प्लेयर खत्म और फ्यूरिया के पास अब चांस हो गया है क्योंकि तीन प्लेयर फ्यूरिया के पास और एक ही है Aura के पास। Aura के एक ही प्लेयर है बाय द वे और यहाँ पे फ्यूरिया ने बाय द वे जीत लिया है। विनर विनर चिकन डिनर सेकंड मैच। या सेकंड मैच बाय द वे फ्यूरिया ने जीत लिया है भाई लोग।
Here into day number 2, so Furia get the win, and the crowd is pumped up for their team here. A huge win for the side of Brazil.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. I think it was 9 elims towards the end, something in that region. It's a massive jump for them, as we talked about on these longer game sets. 18 matches, a game like that can really give you the foundation that you need to jump up to be in contest. With E-Arena going down fairly early, with Enigma Galaxy going down fairly early, a couple of elims on side for these teams, but that is going to put a dent in the gap, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. Keeping that mindset on side of every single game, the points we profit, that is one step closer to the title.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is right there. Nice play though from Sleepy to be able to get that 1v2 on S2G. Gets a couple more points on the board and some extra placement points.
फ्यूरिया की टीम ने बाय द वे विन कर लिया। पहले मैच में आई थिंक अरीना ने किया था ना, पहले मैच में आई थिंक जी अरीना ने पहले मैच में किया, आज भी कल भी आई थिंक अरीना ने किया था। और सेकंड मैच में बाय द वे फ्यूरिया ने बाय द वे जीत ली है।
Oh yeah, it's going to be a little bit toasty over on Rondo next, which is very exciting stuff. We've already seen, what was it, 2 1v4s, at least one 1v3, a couple more. Why not throw them in there? It's basically just what happens at this stage. But yeah, I mean, the Razy solo 1v3 on the north side there, beautiful. The impact he had also cannot be ignored. If 4 players were alive for Horror in those final circles, I think they win that.
Yeah.
Without Razy having that impact, it completely...
दो मैच बाय द वे आज के हो चुके हैं, जिसमें कि पहला मैच बाय द वे जो है अगर तुम देखोगे तो अरीना ने जीता। दूसरा मैच जो है अब फ्यूरिया ने बाय द वे जीत ली है। या पहला अरीना ने जीती है, दूसरा फ्यूरिया ने बाय द वे जीत ली है।
Yeah, you got to be hyped up for Razy. 1v3, then finish him with a 1v2, and you guys got a 1v1 and watch the rest of these matches coming up in just a bit.
Let's go guys, let's go. Let's go भाई। Let's go भाई लोग, let's go guys। Let's go भाई लोग, let's go। तो 2 मैच फिलहाल हुए हैं गाइस अभी तक। ये आज के बाद में 2 मैच हो चुके हैं फिलहाल, अभी और मैच होने बाकी है। कल बाद में 4 ही मैच हो पाया था। क्या मेरे को लगा 2 मैच में नहीं किया, लेकिन 4 ही मैच हो पाया था क्योंकि कल बाय द वे जो हुआ था, बाय द वे प्लेयर्स पता नहीं हेल्थ इशू हुआ था, कुछ फूड पॉइजन वगैरह लगातार आई थिंक कुछ 5-10 प्लेयर या 12-13 प्लेयर को हो गया था एक साथ ही, तो जिसकी वजह से बाद में मैच ही नहीं हुआ था। और हमने बाय द वे कल 4 मैच तक तो हमने किए थे स्ट्रीट, जिसमें कि पहला मैच बाय द वे मैंने कवर नहीं किया था, उसके बाद 3 मैच मैंने कवर किया था। Okay, let's go.
Come into this, so yeah, really excited to see what today's got on offer. First time here in France, so actually we're really excited.
What, just generally first time?
No, not generally, for this in France. Like, normally it's like in Saudi, but here in France it's exciting.
You enjoying it though? Getting on with the vibes? Bit different, right?
Yeah, we got in early on the train this morning, so took a little bit of waking up, but I think we're into the swing of things now.
You always look fresh. Both of you do. You've come out giving it. You got the style on the go, so I can't complain, boys. But there you go.
You're showing us up. Yeah. Can we get a fit check, please? Fit check.
Great.
Hey, look,
you look unreal.
Beige.
The turtleneck, he looks amazing. The watch strap, look.
Wow.
Ugh.
That's what we do. That's what we do at PUBG Mobile. We've got a bit of a different vibe on the go. I know you love a bit of PUBG Mobile yourself, but you've been enjoying the chicken dinners? Caught any of the glimpses of the games?
I haven't caught any glimpses just yet, but they're going crazy as we speak. We've got a little glimpse of a screen up there, and I can't wait to watch some of it.
It's going to be big. I think we've had a lot of interaction from the fans this event, which has been cool. A lot of different nations. It's been super loud. We've had drummers. We've had like cymbals. Mate, I've seen instruments I've never seen before.
I thought it was a football game. I heard it. It was crazy. I can't believe there's drums at an esports event.
That's unreal.
They've kind of been getting sick with it too. One of our commentator talent basically used to be a drummer.
Oh,
so he's been sat there every game, mate. He's watching in the background. I just want to get involved. I want to teach him a new
He's loving it. He's loving it.
You any good on the instruments yourself, pal?
Me, no. So Jizzle, however, he has an own producer back in his day, you know.
I dabble.
Hey, we got to get you in there. We could cook something spicy up with the fans.
No. It's been a long time. It's been a long
EWC
time.
anthem?
I don't quite have the same rhythm as I used to. You know what I
It
mean?
could be a nice tie-in. We'll get that in for the next charity match, no?
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. That would be sick. Look, it's going to be a good time. We've got about, all of today, so about 6 games overall today, and then tomorrow we go into the finals, last 6 games. We got some big orgs here, boys. Couple big names. You got like 4 Thrives. They're coming out, showing up. Vitality, legendary esports orgs, right? Orangutan as well. They've come in bossing it.
Orangutans.
Orangutan all the way.
Come on, orangutans. Listen, this ginger bearded beast.
My orangutan.
Yeah, come on. Go on, the orangutans.
Oh, mate. I hope they do you justice.
Yeah,
They've been looking good, honestly. They've been looking good. So we're saying orangutan
Go
chicken dinners all the way.
orangutans. Let's go.
All right, let's see what happens, boys. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure,
any
mate.
final words before we send this one back?
Up the EWC, up the PUBG Mobile. Bosh.
We'll see you later, guys.
Thank you, Jackie. And I agree, Jackie. You look good today. You look good every single day. And so do we. Joined by Lace, Calaris, Natura, and once again, the 7WG. But we got to talk about Furia, that last match. The Brazilian aggressiveness was there, and boy, did they show it.
Didn't they just? I'm so excited. Furia's back. Let's all jump. No, but he's just gone. Okay, my show now. Furia, right? Furia was on top of it. I really, really enjoyed how they were actually able to play that so well, right? You've got the duo of Ayala. There we go, I got it.
Yeah.
Ayala and Silence, both of them just coming in onto that third party against Nongshim, then over onto EA, just wiped them completely, no point about it. The 2-2 split coming up onto the western side, making sure that Furia couldn't, making sure that S2G couldn't go around to the south side, but also pressuring Hora to actually push into S2G at the same time. Very, very well played. Good control of the teams, good control of the zone, and the timing was really good. They backed it up with firepower as well. You're seeing 9 eliminations. 19-point game is exactly what they needed.
I just absolutely love the fact that they sort of, like you were saying, they had that sort of western side of the mountain. Hora had such a great setup though, right?
Yes.
So I was getting a little bit scared in the I guess final moments because that zone closing in pushes them off the mountain. But Highguard's just down there scouting for the entire team, able to get that little 1v1 out of the way and then handling that site so that when they obviously descent down the mountain, Sleepy comes down the mountain further through this and just cleans it up easily. Their timing today, Neptura, why are we Furia fans? Just backing you up. That was just such a smooth play from them, and when we're used to just seeing them get in a vehicle, charge down, whatever, this is more strategic and smart from them. Very exciting.
I was scared for Furia, though. I thought we were going to see some drive-bys that we ended up seeing from them yesterday that ended up backfiring. But for Hora Esports, I got to give them even more prop scale because they had a 3-1 split on that mountain that ended up working out perfect, especially when the circle didn't go their way.
There's multiple facets to it, right? Hora, when it comes to them controlling that kind of mountain, La Cabrera is somewhere they oftentimes go to. They've actually abandoned that and gone to Valdemar on most of these Miramars. They had to abandon their loot phase quite early to make that extreme wide rotate based on those sort of shifts that were going north to get onto that mountain fast. And I think they really understood how to hold down on that location well, to the point where they were having to deal with certain circumstances that they didn't want to have to, like trying to cordon off Ulf as they're trying to move forwards as well. So very impressive game here by Horror, absolutely.
It is. S2G as well, being able to collect some points in this last match too. And one team that was able to collect even more points that definitely needs them, Orangutan. Collecting 7 eliminations. It's something that we've been wanting to see out of this squad, being able to frag out a little bit more. I know yesterday we saw the passiveness out of OG that we're so used to seeing, but being able to just bounce back. And it's actually not Aru by himself. It's Atanki coming out with 3 eliminations.
I mean, it's great. I mean, I think in the group stage, we saw more from WizGod than from Atanki, but he's coming in really, really nice. Ara, the IGL, also stepping up as a fragger as well, which is really, really nice to see. So very excited to see, very excited to see what we're going to be looking at into the next Rondo, for instance, right? Getting the that momentum on the Miramar is like 7 eliminations on a Miramar already. What's Rondo going to be holding in store for them?
Feels weird that we're doing Rondo, not at the start of the day.
It does, doesn't it?
But anyway.
It's like, okay, well, midday.
Mid-Rondo.
Mid-Rondo. It's a mid-Rondo.
You know what it reminds me? I said it earlier and I'll say it again. It reminds me when we used to have Sandhog at the halfway point.
Oh, yeah.
Where teams that weren't performing well, that would kind of use Sandhog to just spark up their day. But talking about Rondo, let's look at the top teams right now from Rondo. You got Enigma Galaxy up there. Aurora Gaming so far really hasn't had the best start to the day, especially when we're looking at the Miramars. But going into Rondo, we saw what they were able to do yesterday, and I'm hoping that Aurora is going to be bouncing back here.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, right? I actually do think that there's definitely been lulls in some of the performances internationally as well, and obviously this team for a long time, when we were that alpha gaming, etc., and things like that, everyone was hoping that eventually they'd hit it big, eventually be able to get one of those big titles. Actually, coming into that day 1, I thought to myself, wait a minute, is this the time? Is this the time Aurora Gaming actually finally makes it happen? Because they were able to be up towards the top. They've slipped a little bit, especially with the arena looking as well as they have done so far. But there's still a chance. There's still hope.
Yeah, for Aurora right now. 34-point gap, so I am hoping that we're going to be seeing some insane gameplay out of them.
6 मैच हुआ है, 2 मैच आज हुआ है, कल 4 मैच हुए थे.
Put up 29 eliminations. Can anybody get even close? We saw the aggressive.
Yeah, कल 4 मैच हुए थे, by the way, 2 मैच हो चुके हैं फिलहाल अभी तक.
Galaxy been performing well as well, and what I really enjoy about Enigma Galaxy so far is the way that they've been getting those placement points outside of their win. You can see them being able to be consistent.
Exactly, they've got 14 placement points outside of that win, so they are really making sure they hit that podium time and time again, backing it up with eliminations. And again, this is something that I saw yesterday from Enigma Galaxy, is their timing is on point. Coops is back in his prime, it feels like, and the whole team is rallying around that. So the timing is really good. The synergy is very good. They're holding, they're waiting, they're making other teams play for them instead of doing all the dirty work themselves. It's a really, really nice control play that we're seeing from Nigma, and it's working out beautifully.
I mean, I just want to quickly touch on Ulf, because we were a little bit worried about them at the start. We're like, what kind of plan do they have going forward? It's good, it's wins, it's that, it's not, it's dropping. That one, the vehicle sent. They're actually in like a 2-2 split hold, and they were like, what do we do? Let's take the vehicle, let's wedge Tiamba up against that, and able to sort of decimate that entire squad. Obviously the rest of the team sort of joined in that position, but look, they're making split decisions quickly when that moment comes. Is it bad that these decisions have to be made incredibly quickly because they didn't plan it out beforehand? A little bit, but look, they can capitalize on it.
It is. One team that I'm going to be looking to hopefully capitalize here in Rondo as well when we're talking about eliminations is going to be none other than Tiamba. Tiamba has been quite slow today. We've seen them just going down that ranking, and it's a team that needs to be able to bounce back, because guess what? Yesterday, it was all about eliminations. Yes, they do end up having some placement points, but it wasn't of the likes that we know they're capable, especially with what we saw at Survival.
Yeah, Milu and QZZ have looked fantastic throughout the entire tournament, right? And Milu really rose to the occasion after QZZ was able to get that MVP title on previous internationals. I do think that, yeah, it's been a bit of a slow start for them, but regardless of that fact, there's definitely an opportunity for them to get back to fragging.
Let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
I'm just looking at Coops.
2 मैच by the way हुए अभी.
Raouf just going around, circling his chair. Satan
और पता नहीं क्यों उतने अच्छे नहीं कर पा रहे फिलहाल.
Be able to step it up from that team as we're going to be going into Rondo. So Hot Jukes, John Allen, take it away. Where's Satan looking at?
Here we go. We're headed into Rondo, the match to put some massive points on the board. As if Miramar wasn't crazy enough already, it's about to get even crazier.
Maybe it's just something about the start of the day, Jukes. Maybe it wasn't Rondo all along. It was just the first games. Maybe this will be the calmest Rondo we've ever seen.
Yeah, they brought that Rondo energy off the rip, right?
Yeah, they're used to it. Fresh off the breakfast, ready to find their dinner. And that is what we're going to be looking to find here for one of our teams. It will be the case. Maybe a massive early game. We saw it from Milu yesterday. Huge. And the rest of Tianba as well. Huge start.
Okay, तो तीसरा मैच बाय द वे आज का कल के 2 मैच भी कवर होने वाले हैं हो सकता है आज एक मैच कवर हो जाए एक मैच कल कवर हो जाए या फिर 2 मैच आज ही कवर हो जाए क्योंकि कल 6 मैच होने थे हुए हैं बाय द वे 4 ही मैच या टोटल 6 मैच कल हो रहे थे 4 ही मैच जहां पे हुए हैं बाय द वे
a 39-point
Sound must have cleared
tournament. Oh man, well that turned things around.
Let's go.
Team vitality though, averaging 4.33 limbs per game, 1,000 average here. The thing is if you want to win that $500,000 at first place, become the champions, you got to do something special consistently. So I'm interested to see, right, how these teams are going to fare now that we're playing Rondo for the third match of the day. Right? Are they going to be able to keep that aggression up throughout the entire day here? And who's going to be the kings of Neox Factory?
Oh, could be. Or, indeed, somewhere else if Flame Path decides that we don't want to be going to Neox Factory. In general, when you're talking about podium competitors, you're talking about teams who are looking to get about 10 points average. 10 to 12 points average tends to be where we see at the end of these game sets a first place type scoreline being. That generally is a great indicator that you're performing at the level that's needed to rise above the rest. So hopefully our teams will be able to keep that on side. And being able to get, as we were seeing, sort of mid-4 elims average, being able to complement that with placement points is very, very important. There are a couple, I think, of teams who have a distinctly higher average on those elims than others, but it is definitely something that you need to be focusing on to join up at that 10-point average, because right now I think quite a lot of our teams are falling short of that metric.
That's a fact here. And if you want to be able to get in that metric, though, this is the place to do it. You can see these players are locked in, they're focused. They understand what's at stake here, just how important Rondo is for your total tally. We only play it 3 times in this whole finals here. And this being the second one.
6.3.
Yeah, 6.3 average from Tianba, man. This squad have been really, really consistent here. A night and day difference from their group stage performance. And this is the Tianba that we know and love. We expected them to do very, very well here. And it's only a matter of time. I think they get that right position going, and then we see them get that chicken dinner.
I mean, we want that survival stage, Tianba, right?
Yeah.
To be able to jump up and compete with the very, very best. Furia, fresh off of their chicken dinner, their numbers don't quite display that sort of a storyline just yet, but it is a great start for them to be able to add that one to their tally. And again, it's a real great mental boon to these teams to be able to find a high-scoring game and to be able to close out that game. Sure, maybe the point swing isn't huge depending on how many seconds into those final circles you last, but I feel like there is nothing more relieving than finding that chicken dinner, than converting it. Even if you ignore the 4 extra points you get just on placements alone.
Okay, तो तीसरा मैच by the way start होने वाला है.
Booster, and you need to keep
All
your
set
head on
to go,
straight because
guys.
you are going to get into something crazy very early on. I know it, I love it. It's Rondo and it's ready.
It's ready. These players are hyped up. They're ready to go. I hope y'all guys at home are ready as well, because man, this is just getting started. As the plane is taking off, we're headed to Rondo.
Let's go.
Okay, we got a little double plane path action here.
Okay, so Neox Factory is accessible from the easternmost plane path, and to be fair, from the west one, but it's unlikely you want to go there.
Oh, ये देखो ये कैंप है भाई.
Will hit the ground so much faster than you. It's much more likely if you're going to hot drop, you go to Yulin, and the same is true vice versa, right? Yulin is further along that plane path. What this is going to do is split these hot drops up. It's going to make them slightly less chaotic, Jukes, but more teams may want to go for them because of that.
Yeah, and those teams that normally like to go to Neox Factory, if you're in that other plane, you're going to be there late, so that's going to put you so far behind. So teams are going to have to adapt on the fly, switch drop locations, and make these decisions very, very quickly here. And you can see, wow, these squads are out. Top players right now. Scarface from Ulf, okay, 16 eliminations. Mormon right behind him, and of course, Milu right there as well.
Yeah, Scarface on those damage numbers as well, right on the heels of Milu. Look at that, only 20 damage points behind. We'll see if that changes very quickly into this match, because teams are now starting to touch down in towards Neox Factory. They'll be grabbing those weapons. Yulin also will now be occupied, and things are going to get hairy quite quickly. As E-Arena already taking a knock, Tianba as well have already lost one. E-Arena, by the way, generally preferring to drop out near stadium, but the plane path they're on didn't assist with that. In other matches, those solo outposts that are near those recall towers, which are a major feature in Rondo, they were the team to take that dynamically to that fight in a way that we haven't seen from many others. Oh no, S-Power goes down to a guard.
Not good. Schwepp's hurt and gonna get caught by a beautiful angle from a cop. And that's what happens, is that if you're just so used to dropping in one particular area, switching it up here, sometimes those little angles can catch you off guard. And OG putting in the work here. Gonna be keeping an eye there on the side of Ulf, who does see Aaron. Now we're gonna switch on over to another fight. Here goes Furia. Find that Sky bandaging here. Waiting to be able to find those angles. He's got some good weapons here, but Ayala gets caught.
A nade forces Sky to reposition away from the corner. Does take a little bit of damage, but that'll be okay. Remember, the recall towers here in Rondo allow teams to get their players back up and alive, so early fights are the norm. Silence rolling around the edge of this corner, trying to suppress Sleepy, but the UMP in hand gives him a little bit of confidence in the nade to back it up. Flings across his sightlines. No Fear does go down on a trade, and now Ayala's looking to break wide to change the
fight हो गई भाई, fight हो गई. Furia and Hora के बीच में I think fight हुई है. दो प्लेयर और आगे डाउन भी हो चुके हैं भाई. Furia के भी I think एक प्लेयर डाउन है Furia के. Okay. Hora के 3 प्लेयर डाउन हो गए हैं. केवल एक प्लेयर by the way और आगे बचे हुए. I think वो जोन पुशिंग, वो रिवाइव. रिवाइव का तो इसमें ऑप्शन नहीं रहता ना इस स्पोर्ट में. Hora के by the way एक ही प्लेयर बचे हुए हैं. ओ नहीं, 3 प्लेयर रिवाइव हो चुके हैं भाई.
They got some loot.
Recalled, हाँ, revive का option है भाई. Revive का option है.
For T24, Neox Factory's been popping off as well. I think.
पहले सर्कल में revive का option रहता है. तो BGM PUBG में सर्कल में revive का option रहता है BGM में.
Doing bits, but okay. Ult may have a little bit of vengeance here, as Aaron is still in the firefight.
एक प्लेयर और आगे डाउन है भाई अभी.
With their position on the south edge, Squat Tizzy sending away.
Okay, NS के तरफ से एक प्लेयर बाहर से by the way.
Spray, but suppresses the angle. QZZ with the nade cooking, drops around the corner, but Hyunbin evades the damage.
Red for super aggression here. Looking to get some of them early eliminations. Hyunbin.
Okay, यहाँ पे फाइट हो रही है. NS के तरफ से टियान की प्लेयर को डाउन किया गया.
QZZ with the spray. Just keeps that suppressive fire on that window, catches him on the repeat, and a great turnaround there. 2 superstars battling it out. Now Tizzy, oh look at that instant peek back.
Okay, Tian और NS के बीच में वैसे फाइट हो रही है फिलहाल. एक प्लेयर डाउन है टियान के भी. और दूसरे प्लेयर को भी डाउन किया गया है. और टियान की तरफ से रिवाइवल भी दिया जा रहा है एक प्लेयर की तरफ से. रिकॉल किया जा रहा है टियान की तरफ से एक प्लेयर.
Nice and quickly, Nongshim Red Force with 2 elims. They're up to 4 now.
और ओजी भी यहाँ पे और टियान की तरफ से रिकॉल कर लिया गया. ओजी की तरफ से यहाँ पे फाइट हो रही है. ओजी और एनएस के बीच में. Okay.
Is going to find the backlines for Orangutan and slow their approach towards this Nongshim outpost. The 2 players they've got there can just live a little bit longer, but Atanki keeps the pressure up, and Orangutan keep marching.
Man, great movement from the side of Tizzy and Hyunbin. They are outplaying so many of these players here. So good at this urban fighting. Their peaks, their timing, just impeccable. Wiz got the
okay, नेट किया गया, but वहाँ पे player थे, but हट गए.
Peppered only a little bit. Pulls the pin again, and you can see they're utilizing those doors so well. But how about that nade? That one looks good.
फिर से नेट किया गया, वहाँ पे player फिर से हट गए.
He's not falling for that one.
I like the attempted utilization of the smoke to stop the vision on the nade arc as it was coming on through. But Tizzy read that one nicely. Exactly what they were going for. That nade doesn't connect either.
Okay.
Still has a couple more.
ओजी और एनएस के बीच में फाइट हो चुकी है और एनएस के एक प्लेयर को डाउन कर दिया गया है।
Snaffles that point away.
I think finish भी कर दिया गया। जी हाँ, finish भी कर दिया गया।
This guy's doing bits. The rest of Ulf are happy to hang out near Danqing on that south side and let Eren roar over in Neok's factory, as it still has yet to conclude. Aurora, I think, still have a solo in that spot as well. And Eren does finally go down to Godlike, who have rolled up into the fight in Neok's factory. A late approach as they were forced away over towards main round.
Now you can see T24 trying to find some angles here. Zypha, ooh, quick shotgun here.
Okay, 40 और यहाँ पे फ्यूरिया के बीच में फाइट हो रही है और एक प्लेयर डाउन किया गया फ्यूरिया का। Okay, 40 के भी एक प्लेयर को डाउन किया गया।
All over the place here. But Zypha's gonna have to make another play, but oh, suppressive fire. Was that IQ? Yeah, IQ on the other angle.
फ्यूरिया का एक प्लेयर डाउन है और यहाँ पे VIT भी इधर।
Sure, that headshot is gonna be the end of Furia.
Furia, though, well, in this location.
In this location. Correct, yes.
Igor's on that south side, very far away from Yulin right now, means that they can get that
और God के बीच में मैदान में फाइट हो रही है।
And at the moment, only one player is completely down. I think that's about to change as well, as Admino gets back to his feet. Aurora with top. The man on the spot only needs the one shot to take down Salve.
और यहाँ पे Godlike एक प्लेयर को डाउन कर दिया गया और आगे तरफ से।
Can't quite connect on towards top, but he spots him running up. Has the nade cooking. This could be perfect. Needs it over the top. A lot of damage.
और यहाँ पे Aura के भी एक प्लेयर को डाउन कर दिया गया Godlike के तरफ से।
Great work from S-Power there, right? Just staying calm, collected. He had that nade locked and loaded. Just goes, chunks it, and just uses his weapon to take down top.
और रिकॉल्ड भी किया गया, जो एक प्लेयर डाउन हुए उसे भी रिकॉल कर लिया गया है Godlike की तरफ से।
For the most part, only a few players still eliminated. And now you know what? Why don't you guys do us a favor? Get in game and go ahead and pop some of the lucky spins right now. Hopefully you can get one of those exclusive 20.
फिर दोनों इंडियन टीम आपस में मत बैठ जाना, नीचे ओजी है ऊपर Godlike है।
So you can be styling and looking good like a lot of these players are. Let's see how S-Power is going to look though in this 1v1 against a Tinky. It is.
भाई आपस में मत बैठ जाइए भाई, दोनों इंडियन टीम। ओके Godlike भाई बैठ गई, ओजी ने ही फ्लैश किया आई थिंक। ओजी की तरफ से फ्लैश फ्रीज किया गया।
Pushes us down towards the southeast side. Keeps that northern area above Hungshan in the west of Danqing as well. Ulf very happy about this. I think they're
Godlike और ओजी के बीच में ही फाइट हो रहा है। दोनों इंडियन टीम फाइट कर रही है
result for them, given that they're in third place right now.
क्या सीन है यार।
In first place, they haven't had an impact on this game so far. They were pushed away very, very quickly.
यार दोनों इंडियन टीम ही फाइट कर रही है देखो।
Yeah, there's a third party angle. Well, a second player on the opposing team angle.
भाई दोनों इंडियन टीम ही फाइट कर रही है आपस में।
May opt to go for the recall.
Godlike के प्लेयर डाउन हुए।
So that you can bolster that and let the.
ओजी आगे चली गई है Godlike के बाद अब एलिमिनेशन पॉइंट में भी। 23 पॉइंट हो गए ओजी के।
Not today. There's money on the line here. We got to make this happen. Now looking on over the rest of the fight though, we got Vitality end up holding a building here. They're going to be popping some shots on over to Enigma Galaxy. Satan trying to drive away, trying to be able to survive here. Lowered in the same position. Enigma Galaxy on the bold rotation. And Satan does end up getting caught and eliminated.
Very messy now on the western side of this circle. A lot of teams forced into a fight that is unfavorable for a rotation that leaves them exposed. We're seeing the results of that now. The recall tower on the south side of the circle, currently under control of Nongshim Red Force. Looks like Godlike may have their forward position on one recall as well, I believe. So they could look for that. Actually, it might be E-Arena who have got control of it out on the east side. In the meantime, 4 Thrives, with their 3 elims so far, have a position near Yulin.
भाई ढोल नगाड़े सब बज रहे हैं भाई।
Set up here, getting ready for that late game.
ढोल नगाड़े सब बज रहे हैं bro।
This is so critical. This is the map to put some points on the board. OG have 5 eliminations. Aurora have 5 as well. So a great start for a few of these teams. Now it's about how you're going to end. I think the Galaxy down Satan on that rotate. But they do end up finding a spot in this next zone. Pretty central one too, just a little bit on the southern side of it. But we never know where this next circle is going to go.
I mean, Ulf really have got a brilliant position here. They've had a while to establish it as well. On the hilltop that they have so much control over the surrounding area. They have vision every single direction. Everybody else is trying to play in their shadow at the moment. Arena have managed to push in from the east side. And Four Thrives continuing their hold on the southeast point of Yulin. Doing a little bit against Al-Ula. Godlike suffering once more at the hands of Orangutan. And the Arena are actually pushing up to try and third party split that fight on the north edge and maybe hound down Godlike.
6 एलिमिनेशन बाय द वे ओजी ने निकाले इस मैच में भाई, सबसे ज्यादा एलिमिनेशन इस मैच में बाय द वे। चलो ओजी थोड़ा धीरे-धीरे ऊपर आ रही है बाय द वे। नाइस।
But Fudia, they'll take that all day long.
6 एलिमिनेशन है, गॉडलाइक के 3 एलिमिनेशन है। 2 प्लेयर बाय द वे गॉडलाइक के बचे हुए, ओजी के 4 प्लेयर।
Aurora, though, that's going to be the team they're going to have to fight because Aurora's going to be pressing into that hard shift side location. Tianba, QZZ knocked. Doing a great job of being able to throw down those smokes very, very quickly here to try to pick up their superstar player. Coops trying to catch some shots into those smokes. But he's going to go ahead and just hold on to that coverage for just a little while longer.
Just a moment longer. Right now, I think that, yeah, we've only seen 3 players really fully confirmed to not be really in with much chance of moving forwards. A lot of recalls coming on through. Almost everyone in the lobby getting back to their feet. Damage going over towards S2G from Coop, but not quite fully connecting.
He's locked in today, man. I mean, those shots were on point. He was hitting them for the little slight angle that he had. He was getting serious value. You know, Tianba's locked in as well. They're just trying to get themselves in a good, solid position. They're in 4th place, 48 points. Not a bad start. But E-Arena with 75. They're the big threat in this lobby. The Thai squad looking really solid here in the Rondo. 1 elimination, the whole team up. They do have a position on the eastern side of the circle. Aurora right on top of them, though. Let's see what they decide to do here.
I mean, they are certainly alive on this side of the circle, but between Aurora and Ulf, it is a difficult position to try and hold down. And can they get much further forwards? I'm not entirely sure. Schweppes. Oh dear, the flames already licking the front of the bonnet there. And that is going to be an unhealthy vehicle. Not really too reliable when it comes to moving next. But they are safe for the time being next to these 2 teams. I'm looking at Orangutan and Four Thrives on that north side. Could be a contest around the mountain that sits between them. Godlike, I think, are going to have a difficult time moving in as well. Either they could swing out into the blue zone very, very quickly now and try and rejoin Rita. But if you do, you're basically committing to going down in the next zone.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
For sure. And EDA need to have a monster rondo here if they want to be able to get themselves into serious money. Enigma Galaxy, meanwhile, 2nd place, down a player. Lord going to be using some of that terraforming to put himself into a safe position. This is still super early. I mean, that's just Rondo. Rondo starts off so aggressive.
Let's go,
Mid-game as teams solidify their locations. And then it's going to get red hot here in just a minute. Let's see where this circle goes. We're going to see a crazy southern hard shift again. Will it center up? That's going to be huge for these teams. And it does favor the south side a little bit.
Okay, I mean, for Aura, this is great news for them. Their west side is fairly free and clear. Ida do opt to regroup on the south side, which I'm not entirely sure about. I feel like that may be a misplay for them. Very difficult approach from that angle. S2G trying to make the approach that is probably in Ida's future. Finding out how difficult it can be. Furia extracting a toll for it. But they do crash in. They do get to the center of this one. And actually may be able to get control of this recall tower that's available for about another minute or so. If they can get control of it, get that recall in fast, they could be in with a full force squad on this location. And I think they know that Jiggle's here, but they don't have a lot of time to play around with. It's really ticking away, and a bounce on the nade's not good.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a self-nade there. I don't know if you saw that chain link fence at the top of it. Great nades, though, from Nongshim Red Force. Oh, it doesn't hit the mark, though. I thought that was good. And they're going to be sharing this location for now with E-Arena. This is pretty darn central. So I'm surprised they're really battling this out. It's a dangerous fight, honestly. Like, if they take this fight, they're going to get third party.
I mean, all the fights now in the middle are dangerous. Godlike on the south side.
What happened?
Ooh, I think a vehicle explosion there.
अरीना वर्सेस एनएक्स के बीच में फाइट हो रही है मैं
No, it wasn't a self drop. Don't worry. I would have clocked that one. It was an explosion that came through. The nade, ooh, just falls short of the deployable cover. And they continue to not quite find the mark for Nick McAlex. Sorry, for Nongshim Red Force. They aren't quite connecting here. Not quite getting what they want to get done. Orangutan try and crash into the middle.
Okay, S2G eliminate हो गई है by the way. पहली टीम बनी है, eliminate हुई है तीसरे मैच.
These recall towers are pretty much done and dusted. Only a couple more seconds to get them used.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to be able to use it here at this late stage, especially if you already burned a lot of your recalls earlier on.
भाई सिर्फ नेट ही चल रहा है भाई. वीआईडी की तरफ से नेट चल रहा है, प्लस एफएल की तरफ से नेट चल रहा है, फ्लैश की तरफ से सिर्फ नेट ही नेट चल रहे हैं फिलहाल.
Possibly just trying to get some information. He gets some for sure. Pops out. Oh, that did sting.
वीआईडी के एक प्लेयर डाउन हुए हैं by the way.
Got the shotgun S12K.
ओ एक ही प्लेयर बचे हुए वीआईडी के और रश हो रहा है एफएल की तरफ से और वीआईडी की टीम भी एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है. और के बीच में मतलब फाइट होने वाली है. और के बीच में.
Great news. Hopefully they can make that one work. Meanwhile, on the south side, you've got Godlike, Ita, and Furia all looking for position. Yeah, this is a replay, I think, on how Tony K went down.
Yeah,
he ran into the buggy. Yeah,
well, it was that cover flare that ended up busting up that buggy, and it was just inching it little by little and just did enough damage.
गट्टियां और इधर एनजीएक्स के बीच में फाइट होगी. उधर डब्ल्यूएलएफ भी आ रही है बाय पीछे से यान की तरफ से और ये एनजीएक्स के पीछे डब्ल्यूएलएफ भी आई है और इधर बाय द वे टियान भी है. तो एनजीएक्स बाय द वे बीच में फंसती हुई नजर आ रही है बाय द वे. वो दो प्लेयर डाउन भी हो चुके हैं एनजीएक्स के और टियान और यूएलएफ के बीच में फाइट हो गई है. यूएलएफ के एक प्लेयर भी डाउन हुए आई थिंक. टियान के भी एक प्लेयर डाउन है और फिनिश भी हो चुके हैं.
QZZ getting caught out by Ulf. And now Milu getting shot in his back from 4 Thrives. Yamba now are fully pinched. You got 4 Thrives looking at one side, Ulf looking on the other, and this is all outside of the circle. Disaster here for Tianba, who are looking so strong in this game. Gonna have to fight their way out of this position.
भाई गॉडलाइक एलिमिनेट हो गई फिर से. ओजी अच्छी खेल रही है फिलहाल. ओजी ऊपर भी आ चुकी है गॉडलाइक के. 8 एलिमिनेशन इस मैच में ओजी ने करती है.
Wrapping around that one, it takes so much wind out of your sails. You just don't continue that speed. You don't carry any momentum in towards the circle. And they found out all about it. Furia were a roadblock for them, and they may have dragged Furia down with them, but for Emre, he's now got so much to do, and he's going to crash probably straight onto Aura, and almost certainly going to go down here. I'm so surprised he hasn't already fallen, and Emre just sneaking his way through.
भाई अब तो बहुत शाल होगा ब्रो. टियान, यूएलएफ, एनएस भाई अब तो पूरी बसर होने वाली है और ये गलत डाला है टियान ने.
And now it's up to the single player. Oh, he does end up catching 1 point.
फिर भी प्लेयर बचे हुए टियान के.
Hold on just for a little while longer.
भाई 49 पॉइंट किया है टियान ने भी. यूएलएफ 62 पॉइंट है भाई.
An over with Ulf suppressing this angle. Akin can survive for just a while longer. And Ulf are going to have a tough time actually.
और यहाँ पे 40 की भी टीम आ चुकी है पीछे से.
Does go down. That actually comes from Furia. Very long shot down from the south side. Close to max range, I believe.
Furia,
393 meters there, Ayala.
Ayala and Furia are putting in work here. 10 points on the board so far. Right behind him is OG with 8. They definitely needed those points.
Oh, Furia, OG, IDA भाई यहाँ तो बसर होने वाली है पूरी.
Making sure that there ain't nobody near him.
Aurora with the western high ground as well. This mountain giving them a lot to work with. the position held previously by Aura, but they decided to commit instead much more central on
Aura by the way ऊपर है
point of the compound.
और जो कि Aura के सामने अगर तुम देखोगे तो एक भी टीम नजर नहीं आ रही। FL के एक प्लेयर नीचे है, बट Aura मेरे ख्याल से फिर भी सेफ है क्योंकि FL के एक ही प्लेयर है। जैसे FL के प्लेयर ने फाइट किया तो एक ही प्लेयर है FL के, तो Aura फिर भी आराम से by the way अच्छी पोजीशन पे है Aura अगर तुम बोलोगे तो। कितने प्लेयर है Aura के? चारों प्लेयर अच्छी पोजीशन पे है by the way, चारों प्लेयर अच्छे पोजीशन पे है। प्लेस पॉइंट तो ये आराम से निकालेगी और एलिमिनेशन भी by the way की 8 एलिमिनेशन Aura ने भी कर दिया।
This is the time to get lucky in the map that you really want to get lucky on, that's for sure. But meanwhile, Nongshim Red Force catching Chief out from Furia.
Sneaking it. A shot in.
Nade versus nade हो रहा है यहाँ.
Through the fences. It is pretty resible though for Furia, I imagine. The circle does move away from Aurora though, and up towards the north side. This is a lot of open ground that maybe Fourth Rise could try and leverage, but there's not a lot for them to try and work with. You could see just sweeping out to the west is wide open. You're going to need those cover flares, so it depends how many they've got in the back pocket. Create some of your own defilades with that destructible terrain. It's what they're going to be needing to do to control that north side. In the meantime, Furia still giving it large on the south side.
और वो तो भाई यहाँ से ये टॉप 2 तो आना चाहिए, टॉप 2 टॉप 3 बहुत अच्छे पोजीशन पे है। आई थिंक एफएल के जो एक प्लेयर था उसको डाउन पे करके क्लियर भी कर दिया। आई थिंक या डाउन करके आई थिंक क्लियर कर दिया मैंने बोला ना। और एफएल बाद में टीम एलिमिनेट हो गई है, फ्लैश की टीम। और सामने अब कोई भी टीम नहीं है, उधर बस्टर होगा और आराम से इधर प्लेस पॉइंट प्लस अंत में फाइट करके भुजिया भी निकाल सकती है, चिकन डिनर भी निकाल सकते हैं। ओके ओजी भी एलिमिनेट हो गई है। बाय द वे
last player of Orangutan goes down in the meantime. IQ gets spotted out in the open. I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? It's such a difficult area to try and move into. The question is timing, and for IQ, he gets caught a little bit too early. And there's really no cover. But it is such a majority on the circle. If you can establish any sort of position out there, you start to get so much control. And with Aurora still able to use the high ground that they've been playing from, they have...
Aura बहुत अच्छी जगह पे, Aura के एक प्लेयर जा तो रहे हैं, लेकिन एक प्लेयर में प्रॉब्लम है।
Oh, beg your pardon. Have to.
Aura I think 3 players हैं बचे हुए।
And if you don't got cover, you got to make your own. Use those cover flares. Use
Not teams बचे हुए 28 प्लेयर है by the way।
Make it happen. You can see
और अब सर्कल छोटा हो रहा है।
Position that they've created for themselves. You got Aura on the other end, trying to sneak some eliminations. No fear, going to be laying down, trying to see if he can catch that pixel. He sees him. He sees him. Put some shots, but not able to get the knock.
Aurora rotating.
ये बहुत अच्छे पोजीशन पे हो रहा है यहाँ पे। Aura के कोई भी प्लेयर अगर डाउन भी होते तो रिवाइव यहाँ पे दिया जा सकता है। ओह, अरीना के एक प्लेयर को डाउन कर दिया Aura ने। जाने तो मेरे ख्याल से नहीं चाहिए यहाँ से। यहाँ से मेरे ख्याल से जाना नहीं चाहिए Aura को। बहुत अच्छे पोजीशन पे उसला तो।
I imagine Aurora should be aware of this position.
तो उधर बसर होने वाला है भाई।
We'll see if they deal with it or if they
पूरी तरीके से उधर बसर होगा अभी।
In their buffer zone.
Just getting set up here. I like how he risks it and moved that vehicle just a little bit further so he can cover himself from that angle. The crowd is hyped, they're excited. The Furia fans are going nuts.
Oh, ID के एक प्लेयर इधर छुपा हुआ है Aura के जस्ट पीछे।
And there goes Aurora starting to
ये दिक्कत कर सकता है।
in this next circle.
ID का एक प्लेयर के पास कितना प्लेयर? वो एक ही प्लेयर है वो। और वो बात है Aura के जस्ट पीछे छुपा हुआ। आइडिया का हालांकि कल का गेम जो है बहुत खराब रहा है। आई थिंक 2-2 मैच में बाय द वे पहली टीम एलिमिनेट हुई थी। तो ये प्लेस पॉइंट निकालने की भी कोशिश हो रही है आइडिया के एक प्लेयर की तरफ से। और Aura को बाय द वे उसके बारे में जानकारी नहीं है।
Trades back and forth across every single angle. Nongshim also have spots on towards Aura, who are trying to make their way up on the western edge. Oh, it's a nasty ascent up this hill. There is a complete broadside from Hyunbin. He's got that DP, a lot of ammo in the tank, and a big north shift comes through.
The circle goes up to the top and away.
भाई सर्कल अलग ही बन गया है, सब सर्कल के बाहर है।
All of them are going to have to start moving.
सर्कल की तरफ सबको जाना पड़ेगा गाइस, सर्कल अलग ही बन गया है। अब सभी को सर्कल की ओर भागना पड़ेगा ब्रो।
I'm looking at this circle. I feel like it's Aurora and Fourth Rise right now.
आई थिंक ऑरा की साइड सर्कल बनी है, ऑरा की टीम सर्कल में है, इधर ही सर्कल बनी है गाइस। अब वसर हो गया, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा था ऑरा बहुत अच्छे पोजीशन पे, इधर से जाना ही नहीं चाहिए।
It could be pretty tricky for everybody else to march forward, but it seems like they found some sort of peace between the two.
Yes, that's the right play in all honesty. You gotta just throw the smokes in between, but like, guys,
down kiya gaya
let's look
brother.
down south. Let's get all these eliminations, fight each other later for first and second place, because this is a feat.
अब यहाँ पे वसर हो रहा है, और ऑरा बाय द वे आराम से बाय द वे सर्कल में अभी बैठी रहेगी, थर्ड पार्टी वहाँ से कर सकती है लॉन्ग रेंज में।
Up close and personal. He's got the shotgun.
यहाँ पे वसर हो रहा है।
And Nongshim Red Force are putting in the work. Up close and personal.
अरीना की टीम एलिमिनेट हो गई है बाय द वे, और अब केवल 8 ही टीम बची हुई है। आइडिया के एक प्लेयर है बाय द वे, वो भी सेफ ही रहेंगे, वो भी उधर ही है, अगर फायर वगैरह वो नहीं करे। ओके, यहाँ पे हॉरा और फ्यूरिया के बीच में फाइट हो रही है। ओके, ओ फ्यूरिया के भी प्लेयर डाउन हुए यहाँ पे।
But Furia now 12 elims. They're looking for more, and a solo from Jiggle, the only thing standing in their way of controlling the entirety of this compound.
13 eliminations. Furia on a tear. Jiggle up on top. Catches out the last player of Ida. Aurora though are just waiting.
वो आइडिया के जो एक प्लेयर थे वो बाय द वे अब मर चुके हैं। फ्यूरिया 30 एलिमिनेशन है भाई, और भी 10 एलिमिनेशन की भी। एनएस ने 12 एलिमिनेशन की, यूएलए बाय द वे एलिमिनेट हुई है, और बाय द वे एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं, तो अब धीरे-धीरे एलिमिनेट हो रहे हैं। फ्यूरिया भी एलिमिनेट हो गई है बाय द वे। अब केवल 3 टीम है जिसमें कि ऑरा 4 प्लेयर है, वो एनएस के भी 4 प्लेयर है बाय द वे, 40 के एक ही प्लेयर है, एक डाउन है आई थिंक, नहीं 2 प्लेयर है, एक का हेल्थ कम है।
And he does go down. IQ a solo for 4 thrives. 14 eliminations for Nongshim Red Force, 10 for Aurora. This is a big game anyway you cut it.
And it's going to be one of these teams that's going to win it. Who's it going to be?
Aura versus NS 4v4.
Joel gets knocked. That could be the opening.
एक प्लेयर ऑरा का डाउन है फिलहाल, ऑरा वर्सेस एनएस 4v4 बाय द वे होने वाले हैं।
So easy catches top as well. So just knock after knock.
ऑरा के 2 प्लेयर डाउन हो गए ब्रो, एनएस के भी एक प्लेयर डाउन है।
From both these teams.
एक रिवाइव हो गया ऑरा का, एक प्लेयर दोनों के डाउन है बाय द वे। ओके, एक और प्लेयर एनएस के डाउन होते हुए।
How do you do it to a Reapers? Goodness me. That is a beautiful start, and this is the open ground I was talking about before.
और ये चीज मैं बोल रहा था शुरू में, सबसे मस्त प्लेस पॉइंट बाय द वे ऑरा के पास ही है, और प्लस सर्कल भी उधर ही बन गई। इनको सर्कल में जाना पड़ेगा, ओपन में जाना पड़ेगा एनएस को, क्योंकि सर्कल में तो जाना है, और ऑलरेडी सर्कल में एनएस को सर्कल में जाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अब सर्कल श्रिंक होगी थोड़ी देर में, 30 सेकंड के बाद, तो ओपन में तो जाना पड़ेगा। जी हाँ, सर्कल में जाना पड़ेगा भाई।
Now they have the numbers advantage as well, top with 5, and look at that. Nongshim Red Force, they're just stuck.
एनएस के एक प्लेयर मर चुके हैं, 3 ही प्लेयर हैं एनएस के पास। ओके, ऑरा के एक और प्लेयर को डाउन किया गया, ऑरा के भी। यहाँ से अगर एनएस निकाल लेती है चिकन डिनर तो भाई इजी होने वाला, क्योंकि एडवांटेज ऑरा के पास है, क्योंकि इनको सर्कल में जाना है। ओ 2 प्लेयर डाउन हो गए ऑरा के, तो ऑरा एडवांटेज का फायदा कहीं नहीं उठा पा रही है। देखो अभी नहीं, सर्कल में जाना पड़ेगा, एडवांटेज का फायदा नहीं उठा पा रही है ऑरा। लगे रिवाइव किए जा रहे हैं ऑरा के प्लेयर को, तो उसके बावजूद भाई 2-3 बार डाउन कर चुके हैं।
He's got the MG3 from the crate though. Is it going to be enough? A lot of damage.
2 प्लेयर ऑरा के अभी भी डाउन है भाई। भाई एनएस यहाँ से क्रेजी कर रही है ब्रो, कितनी बार डाउन निकाल चुकी है, क्रेजी कर रही है एनएस। रिवाइव तो उधर किया जा रहा है, लेकिन एनएस की तरफ से क्रेजी किया जा रहा है। एक और ऑरा का प्लेयर डाउन हो चुके हैं, एक फिनिश भी हो चुका है ऑरा का प्लेयर, तो 2 ही प्लेयर ऑरा के बचे हुए हैं, दोनों एक जगह पे है।
Nongshim Red Force
भाई कमाल की खेली है भाई एनएस, पूरा एडवांटेज और के पास था, लेकिन एनएस ने कमाल का निकाला है चिकन डिनर भाई कमाल है, मानना पड़ेगा ब्रो। एडवांटेज जोन सब और के पास था, और ने बार-बार नॉक डाउन अपने लिए, और जिसके वजह से उनकी जो है खराब स्थिति हुई चिकन निकालने की, और उसका फायदा एनएस को मिला सीधे तौर पे।
was so difficult to get in and towards, with 4 thrives being in the way for Aurora. If they'd been able to deal with that a little bit earlier, maybe they could have had more presence there and stopped Nongshim Red Force from getting as far as they did. But a brilliant oversight on the compound for Nongshim Red Force. The South Korean side managed to navigate that one brilliantly.
I mean, that's as fair as a fight as you get here, folks. I mean, I think out of all the fights I've ever seen Aurora lose, I think that is the most frustrating one for them, because they know that we just got outgun skilled. Us, Aurora, the Mongolian super squad. What happened? Hyunbin with those laydowns, making the plays, the pop off. Absolutely well deserved. I mean, that was just disgusting.
Locking it in with the daps. That's what you got to do. You got to be pumped when you get those chicken dinners on side, and on Rondo no less, with a big elim count. That is a breath of fresh air for Nongshim Red Force, hoping to get another global level title as well, to convert from their recent win.
Sneaky. I mean, Nongshim Red Force, when they won PMMI, they weren't on top of the leaderboards until literally the last game, right? They stole that tournament, and now in this Rondo, with that many points, ooh, these leaderboards are gonna look dangerous.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Remember, E-Arena, Nick the Galaxy, again, going down a little bit earlier. That's gonna close the gaps once more, and teams can start to catch up. It is looking level. And again, it's that marathon style that we've got on today with the 8 matches from the delays that we had yesterday. The 8 matches today are going to test these teams' endurance.
Okay, तो आज 8 मैच होने वाले, कल के जो 2 मैच नहीं हुए वो आधी होंगे।
This is just Toronto. We got 3
कल के जो 2 मैच नहीं हुए वो भाई तवे आज ही होने वाले हैं भाई।
Gonna roar back though. That's gonna be my question. You know, Doc, he did not like that one. They did not like that. Yeah, they were like, bad beat here. Hyunbin though, I mean, using that terraform.
ऐसे normally 6 मैच थे daily, but आज 8 होने वाले।
These are the guys you got to look at here, because, you know, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Hyunbin, with those laydowns, applying those suppressive fires, predicting where they're going to pick those heads out, hit a few crucial knocks, and he won that for his team.
Absolutely, yeah. Getting those picks, absolutely crucial, like you say. And it is a really interesting feature. I think it's probably, for me, the most interesting feature of Rondo is the impact of those, well, actually, maybe 2, but the impact of having destructible terrain, being able to carve out those little divots, those little defilades with explosives, as well as the deployable cover flares. I think those 2 features make Rondo so interesting in these late game stages.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for those 2 features, I don't think either team would have been able to make it towards the end. There was so much ground, but they had to close it down, and the team to do it was Nongshim Red Force. We'll see you in a few.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out.
हाँ रुको तो 1 मिनट आया, मैं ये रख के
They would face teams from across the world. And on the opening day of the grand finals, 4 Thrives took complete control.
Possible, but IQ's down, and D24, we're a 1 versus 1, weapon swap with the shotgun around his teammate, he finds it! He gets it done, and 4 Thrives!
After 6 matches, they had collected 3 wins and 82 points, building a commanding lead at the top of the leaderboard.
After the 3 chickens on PMGO finals day 1, our confidence boosted a lot. Like, we didn't felt any pressure and we knew we are going to win because we had a big lead.
The second day brought a different challenge. Every team in the lobby was chasing them, and every mistake could reopen the championship race. They finished with 122 points, 77 eliminations, and 3 wins to become the PMGO Season 1 champions, securing their return to PMWC. Last year, they arrived as history makers. This year, they arrive as global champions.
Nothing has changed for us. Our hunger is still the same. Even you can say we are more hungry for this PMWC trophy. We are even more confident than before. We have more experience. We believe that we can be the team who can win this back-to-back global trophy.
4 Thrives have already shown that a Pakistani team can reach the world stage. Now, 4 Thrives head to the PMWC at EWC 26. Ready to prove that PMGO was not the end of their rise. It was only the beginning.
Hey, get us up on the left now! Let's go.
I'm nading it, okay? I'm nading
it. On the Dacia, bro. He's low. I don't have nades. On Dacia is low.
No,
I can drop the C4, wait. He's low, headshot. Nice. Last one on me. Yes. No, two. Nice. Let's go. Get the loot. Go left, guys. Please, go left. One guy right, one guy left. Easy. They're 2 knocked. Zone will kick them. My door watch. Let's go left. I'm running up.
Behind the tree.
Okay, I'm running up on him. Play time.
Behind the car.
Kitleyim ben. Risk atmayacağım.
Taşla yapıyor galiba.
Mermi çektim.
Tarıyorum Cema, full tarıyorum. Mermim yok ama.
Mermim kalmadı.
Lan gidin vurun, alana salacak.
Nice oğlum. Nice.
เฮ้ยขวาตัวนึงตายดำไปนอนอยู่นอนสวยซ้ายเจมส์เล่นด้วยกันนะใจเย็นมองนี่คือ
เจ็บมาดิวิ่งมาเลยต้นไม้หลังต้นไม้เจอมาลูกกู
สายกลาง
กดซ้ายกดขวาเฮียไม่วะ
This rondo would be the match to just kickstart a bunch of the teams that weren't performing well in this first 2 Miramars, and one of them being Aurora, showing Kalaris one of the biggest throws that we have seen. They look so good until the end.
Everything was lining up so well. They threaded the needle down on the south to be able to get between Godlike and Furier on that rotation. And I thought to myself, they're playing it fantastic. They're being able to hold a position, cautious of where Horror was, and then maybe flex out on that west side. But Max, the fight against Nongshim, who played an amazing game as well on the other side.
You can't hate too much on it because, yeah, Nongshim Red Force had some insane shots. Hyunbin in particular, the way he was able to every time to allow his teammates to push forward and he would cover them, but it wouldn't just be cover fire. He would literally tear down every single player on Aurora Gaming. I think he knocked out top twice in that final fight.
I'm not happy about it.
I'm very happy about it. If Kalaris is angry, I'm having a good day. So, yeah, but like, as you said, it was great rotations overall from Aurora, but the gunplay from Nongshim Red Force is what redeemed the game for South Korea.
And this is completely opposite from what we saw from Nongshim yesterday, right? Because we were talking about Hyunbin just being super aggro and going without his team and all of this, and he's done the complete opposite of that today here, going, I'll support you guys. I'll be that support player. I'll be the fragger, but I will let you guys go first.
I mean, it wasn't just this final fight for Nongshim Red Force that looked amazing. It was the parking layer control, dealing with anybody coming from silos, fighting into the circles as well. This for Nongshim Red Force was a masterclass of control.
The fight with E-Arena especially.
Yeah, the thing is, that fight on E-Arena was executed so well. It was so snappy, so quick. But the fact that they survived that fight in the city, right? Get outside the city, fight against the other teams that were 4 Thrives, then win the fight onto Aurora, all of that basically, while still keeping yourself up as a 4-man team is insanely impressive at this level of play.
I think there's very few teams that can make it look that good.
No, because, and this is the thing, is this is one of the teams that can go from 0 to 100, right? They were in that compound. They were there for a long time. They were just kind of keeping away from E-Arena here, and then they just unleashed the beast. I mean, look at these eliminations coming in from each of the players, so even across the board, and they just are able to just turn up the heat, go, okay, it's go time, and go for it.
Yeah, we usually talk about Hyunbin just being able to be the frag out power for this squad. TZ as well has been stepping up. It's good to see that all the players have been stepping up in this one. One of the biggest question marks that we have had for Nongshim, especially in this last 2 days, have been those placement points. And for them to finally get over that hump, getting that chicken dinner, considering that the Smash Roll is going to be in play tomorrow, this is going to make them really happy. I know you're really happy about it.
I'm loving it, seeing Hyunbin and the boys getting so many points on board. But before this game, right, the placement points were at an all-time low. We just didn't see very many late game finishes from this team. But the fact is, and as we just saw on that graphic, right, they got eliminations on every single player. Very happy, but apparently Eren is your MVP of the game, and he had some really good fights, one of those onto 4 Thrives. So good plays here from Eren that I didn't expect. I thought it would be definitely one player from Nongshim Red Force.
Well, Tizzy, the fact that he did 1,200 some damage from the parking bay. I mean, it's one of the highest spots in that circle, never mind the silos that exist there. So it's a great spot to be able to have those engagements from.
No, it was very good indeed. And mentioning Ulfred, because they were in an altercation with 4 Thrives, and looking at the circle, I was like, okay, well, Nongshim has everybody in town to deal with. You've got 4 Thrives having to deal with Ulf, and so Aurora were able to actually just have the complete west side kind of to themselves, get that long-range third party going, which is that's their MO, and that's probably why we saw them do so well. While they probably should have had that win, was they were long distance. They were able to have that long distance, put some distance between them and other teams. But for Nongshim, for them to actually third party over onto Ulf in the 4 Thrives fight, just as 4 Thrives were kind of getting cleared up, that is true.
They do.
They do.
Ida has something personal with
They do. It's so true. It's so true. But Nongshim really showcasing how great their timing is and how well they can actually read the lobby, what's going on around them, and take advantage of that.
One team that we've been following as well, especially today, that has been starting to kickstart it, it's 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives, in this last match, they were controlling a lot of that north, but they were 2 split, even though they weren't man down. And this is something that we were harping on a lot yesterday from them, having unnecessary splits at times. They were being pinned down by Aurora, though.
They were being pinned down. It's a very difficult portion of zone. I don't think we've seen it be played that much. And so when it's so open like that, it is difficult to try and have the control that you really want. But yeah, there were some changes that could have been made to that.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that when you look at how Nongshim Red Force had to play it, in a very similar area, you see how flat that area is. You can't, there's a lot of times where people get stuck in urban endings and urban situations, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, that team on the outside is going to be able to hold them off. But you saw how flat it was. They couldn't put pressure onto anyone coming from their 4 Thrives. They were there in a good spot, but they were there too early.
Yeah, actually looking at another team I feel like did really well this game is actually Furia, right? Able to jump up here in 4th position, get himself a total of 60 points, 2 points behind the podium, held down by Nigma Galaxy. But this game, how they were able to do actually a big jump around the teams in the southern side against Godlike and also the side of Ida, and then getting in the city and sweeping teams. Sure, they don't get the win, but highly impressive from Furia. They feel like now are building up their momentum. They're a very streaky team, and now I feel like the podium is where they want to head towards next.
That's back-to-back games too for Furia, being able to just show that aggressiveness, getting those eliminations as well, maintaining themselves within the 4th place. Because one thing that we're kind of looking at is E-Arena starting to create a gap with some of those teams. That's something that 2nd place, especially of esports, they had 2 outstanding mirror marks, and in this one we saw Eden being able to get the MVP.
I just want to bounce off what you said about Furia with the 2 good games, because I didn't like them moving into that silo location. I thought they could potentially backfill the west side after coming in super late on that south. But hey, they proved me wrong. I think that they really showed great presence of mind, great kind of space control when they were moving through, and were able to take the gunfights well.
Yeah, it was very nice indeed. I was watching them kind of how they were moving, because some teams like Aurora, right, you have your position and you kind of just stay there. There's not too much movement going on. For Furia, they were in the middle of the silos, and yet they were always looking, always moving, always trying to figure out where the next play was going to be. So very mobile, very proactive thinking. You could tell from how these guys were moving. Yeah, just very proactive, and that's what you want to see in the middle of a city fight like that.
Yeah, we did see the second page there for a quick second, and I want to highlight one player from Godlike. Man, S-Power is putting up like so many great clutches. We had some clutches early on Miramar. He did it here on the hot drop right versus top. He was cooking the grenade, got the damage, forced to find CQC. I really do believe, and my favorite player from India, by the way, normally is legit But I got to say, S Power is putting some global level fights here. He is looking highly impressive. And right now, I would say the best player in India by a significant margin.
Yeah, it's not even close, honestly, especially with S Power. Now all we need is to see what the Nongshim players were able to do, which just wasn't just one player. We need all the players from Godlike being able to step it up. But as we're going to be heading into the first Erangel, let's send it over to Barney and Luti.
Luti, what an absolute treat today is. I mean, 8 games, that's so many clips can happen today. I know, 5 more maps to go,
yeah,
so much more PMWC action to come. But I tell you what,
tell me,
we wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the fans, right?
Of course, they're coming from all over the world.
That's right, and we've got some right here in the Gudea City grid as well, so why don't we check in with them?
Okay.
Okay, you want to check in?
Yeah, my side is better.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure my side is better.
Calm down, okay. All my fans on this side of the building, make some noise!
Nah. I think we're better. Please, from my side, make some noise!
Yeah, okay, now you know what you got to beat, guys. Now you know what you got to beat. Okay, I see some Furia fans. Everybody, Vasambaruyo!
I see. I have 40 fans right there, and I can see in their own language as well. It is time. Shormacho! Look at them going. They are crazy.
Okay, you know what, Luti?
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
you can beat me 1-0, but we'll check in a little bit later today. Casters, who do you think won that?
I think the fans all won that. You know, I'm going to be completely equivocal, yeah, that's everybody won because we got to experience the energy that is going to be put towards this match, the first of our Erangels today, a triple billing. As we sidle over towards match 8 with Nongshim Red Force able to close down a clutch chicken dinner in the final moments of that last game. Now they turn their attention to the grassy pastures, and maybe we'll get an answer to our question about a couple of
Okay. Next game is start हो रहा है, guys. Let's go. चौथा गेम पहले हो गया इसका, आज 8 गेम होने वाले हैं भाई. क्योंकि कल नहीं हो पाए 2 गेम, तो उसके गेम आज ही होंगे by the way. ये रैंगल by the way. ये मैप होने वाला है.
That's the question, because the only other question is Nigma Galaxy going?
Let's go. Rangel by the way, ये मैप होने वाला है.
So we're gonna see what's gonna happen on the side of Pachinki. But who's gonna get these points, man? We're heading on over to good old fashioned.
Let's go, guys. Rangel और ये वो कप है जिसके लिए लड़ा जा रहा है.
And this is the first one here in day number 2 of the finals, live here in Paris, France. This is the PUBG Mobile World Cup.
It's so American of you to say Paris, France, as if anybody was laboring under the delusion it was Paris, Texas. Come on. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. We're here.
It's about the same heat, though, I'll tell you that right now, because it was hot outside today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been
pretty
games as well.
Arena, ULF, NGX और Fura ये top 4 है. NX5 में और by the way 6 पे वो भी है. Top player आज के by the way Arena के ही है by the way. And Morman and एक is Scarfish. Most elimination by the way आज की. Most damage में भी यही है. Okay, 1 player changes है. Sleepy second number पे by the way most damage.
Top players, Aaron right now leading the charge when it comes to damage. But man, those leaderboards changing things up. The Arena still up on top there. Nigma Galaxy down in 3rd, Wolfred behind them.
Okay, military base में कोई नहीं गया. फिलहाल तो जाएंगे सब गाड़ी लेके. 40 I think जाने वाले लग रहा है. उधर ही है 40. 40 I think military base लग रहा जाने वाले. ओजी by the way Godlike के ऊपर आ चुके हैं भाई लोग दोनों इंडियन टीम.
This is the most important day here, folks, because that's what's going to set that smash point threshold.
Oh, circle तो फिलहाल इधर ही बना है. थोड़ा सा military base में भी है circle है.
But it ain't over yet. They got to keep that aggression up all day long.
Now, you know what? I talked about it before, right? The Arena, chicken dinner towards the start of the day, and then what happened?
Okay, NGX इधर है by the way.
Oh, by the way,
आसपास तो कोई टीम नहीं दिख रही है NGX के.
Nigma Galaxy will be left alone. It is a Gatka split drop for Ida.
Oh,
thank you. Time. Thank you so much to all the coaches, to all the analysts, to the players.
क्या हो रहा है?
Players I love it.
Shout out to everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
आईडी का एक प्लेयर इधर है.
Shout out to Naruto.
Oh yeah.
गाड़ी लेके कहीं जाते हुए.
That Ninetales Fury's Og, baby, gotta get it here quick before it's gone. As the Naruto Uzumaki event is still going on. We had a nice little show match earlier. Got to see some of the A7 boys once again.
यान के प्लेयर इधर है, भाई दो इधर है, एक उधर है.
Man, putting in some work. Dropping them jutsus. Them ninjutsus. Substitution jutsus.
That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told they're called.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Beautiful stuff. I mean, we saw that show match earlier today, which was great fun. I think everyone had a good time with it.
It's fun. Calaris,
and you know, Alpha 7 have to win something.
Yeah, they got to win something, that's for sure. You know, anytime I get to hear Calaris cast the show match is incredibly loves to do those, so I'm so glad he was able to get one in.
He looked pretty good with the headband as well.
Yeah, he did. He rocked the red one too.
ULF के प्लेयर इधर है, 3 तो उधर से कुछ साइड की इधर.
Should have kept it on all day in my opinion.
स्कूल में आई थी ना? ये स्कूल है.
I saw him backstage. He was running with his arms behind his back. Yeah. He does that everywhere now.
Wow. I like it. It's a good look. He should hold on to it. Speaking of good looks, right? Ulf looking pretty good today. I mean, they're in second place. They've been getting a ton of eliminations here. It's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing fares out. I'm interested to see kind of how teams develop their mindset here going into today specifically, because I think a lot of squads just need to pretend like, hey, this is match 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got our Rondo out the way. Now into Erangel.
Yeah, Aaron doing a lot of work for the team on Ulf right now. The elims he's been able to find, picking them away from a lot of different scenarios. He's been able to extract just these sneaky little flush steals once or twice, as well as the rest of Ulf doing a lot more. They had a really solid position during that rondo. There were some difficult south shifts that forced them off that high ground mountain quite a while into the zones, which kind of took a little bit of momentum away from them, but the fact that they're able to convert and get a decent line on that game was pretty great, and getting that match MVP title as well for Aaron. So yeah, it's second place. Good news for them. One step closer to E Arena. It's a very tight grouping over towards the top side of these tables still. I mean, there is a bit of a drop off. I think, you know, from 9th all the way up to 2nd, it's fairly flexible still, given the number of matches we still got left to play, but it's going to get a lot more solid, and teams beneath that, I feel like you're stretching a little bit far now to try and catch up.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time, right? I mean, we got to look at the math of it. I mean, there's a lot of games still left to be played. I get where you're going with this, though, right? With how these top teams are performing, it's getting real scary here, right? So if you want to be able to make a run for that first place, you got to start performing here, right now. Especially for that 9th place on down. It really is starting to get chicken dinner time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've seen teams go, you know, back-to-back, triple chicken dinner. So for all you guys that are fans there of, you know, 4 Thrives, Vitality, Flat, S2G, all the squads down there, you know, give your team your energy, right? Start spamming the chat. They need that positive reinforcement here, because they are not even close to out of the running there. We got a lot of matches left to go, a couple good wins, and boom, they're at the top.
I'm looking right now at what Enigma Galaxy are doing. This split, we saw it from them in the previous stages they played in.
अभी तक तो फाइट नहीं हुई बराबर एंगल में.
2 players in Pachinki, they send 2 players out really wide. We've been denied the opportunity
to see यहाँ पे NS के player
of these grand finals because of the hot drop with Ida, but now they are unleashed. They've been able to not only get the early loot truck and try and get a little bit of a duplicate on that as well, but they have been able to send out that early duo scout that they sent out towards Milta Power before on a game that they were able to win in the end, and they now have a foothold over towards the west side in the fields that stretch out to the north of Quarry. And they'll have to figure out how to regroup at some point, but for now there are still there's still a
Tiangi player को down किया गया by the way Arena की तरफ से और finish भी किया जाएगा.
Eagle is grounded.
और खाता खुल चुका है Arena का guys.
That's the first elimination. Joker catching it. And that is devastation for this lobby, because I mean, E Arena are red hot today. Just straight aggression, putting on some points.
By the way, Arena कल भी अच्छी खेली थी, आज भी अच्छी खेल रही है, और इसलिए तुम देख सकते हो टॉप पे भी है 77 पॉइंट्स के साथ. कल भी कमाल खेली थी और आज भी कमाल खेल रही है अरीना। फाइट लेने का जहाँ पे होता है वो फाइट शुरू में भी लेती है, बीच में भी लेती है, अंतिम में भी लेती है। मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि शुरू में फाइट है तो उसको इग्नोर करो, फिर प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट के कारण अंतिम में फाइट लेंगे, ऐसा कुछ दिख नहीं रहा अरीना के गेम प्ले में। अगर फाइट है वहाँ पे जरूरी तो वहाँ पे वो लेती है, चाहे वो शुरुआत की गेम में हो या बीच में हो या एंड में।
But we're still in the very, very early game here. Only one player in this lobby has been eliminated.
Yeah, only the one pickup found. We saw that. Over onto Tianba as well, which is not going to be friendly. They had a real glow up into the survival stage, I think it's safe to say. But here, it's not quite been as consistent. And when that's probably likely to the fact that you're adding the top 10 teams back in. Yeah. Right? You're coming back into the lobby with the teams that directly qualified. Tianba, it's great that they've gained that confidence. This is not the Tianba we saw in their group stage. But there is a little bit more force to come up against. Yeah. And that's, I think what they're trying to come to terms with.
This lobby is wild. It really is. I love to see just the progression here of PUBG Mobile. Back in the day, we had like a handful of good teams and everybody else was kind of pretty far down when it came to skill. But the skill gap
सर्कल वहीं पे बना है by the way. सर्कल वहीं पे बना है, थोड़ा पानी में है फिलहाल।
That 2-2 split working out for WATCHPARTY considering that they already have a
ULA, Furia, FT, Hora सब अब धीरे-धीरे सर्कल में जाएंगे by the way. Okay, NGX में यहाँ पे फाइट हो रही है।
Serpentine, he's down low.
क्योंकि VT की तरफ से और डाउन भी किया गया NGX से एक प्लेयर को, आई थिंक VT की तरफ से, VIT की तरफ से, सॉरी VIT की तरफ से एक एलिमिनेशन भी निकाला गया है फिल्डर लिस्ट की तरफ से VIT के एक प्लेयर। और यहाँ पे आई थिंक जोन में जाने की कोशिश हो रही है।
And in the center of this, it starts to get crunched in. E-Arena, I feel like they've got a pretty solid spot on this.
Okay, VIT और NGX के बीच में by the way कार रेसिंग हो रही है by the way.
Defend it like an ogre.
Run, Satan, run. He's all by himself, just trying to find a position for the rest of his team. But the rest of his team is going to have a tough time rotating on over to him.
Yeah, that's. I was just having a little chuckle to myself about how it looks like Satan's trying to go over the north, and the other duo from Nick McGalaxy, it looks like they're trying to go around the south. And
yeah,
the Benny Hill music was playing in my head. They were chasing each other's tails, and neither one able to catch it. But it's going to be a sent straight through the middle. I mean,
VIT और 40 के बीच में फाइट होने वाला और नॉक हो चुके हैं VIT के प्लेयर।
Over towards Federalis.
इस प्लेयर को नॉक दे दिया गया है VIT के, और VIT के चारों प्लेयर वहां पे आ भी चुके हैं और 40 की तरफ से यहाँ अटैक भी किया जा रहा है। 3 प्लेयर बाय द वे रश कर दिए है और एक हाई से बाय द वे फाइट लिया जा रहा है। VIT को चारों तरफ से घेर दिया गया है फिलहाल, तो अगर देखोगे तो 40 के भी एक प्लेयर डाउन हुए फिलहाल।
And 4T turning things around. There's another one.
Oh, एक और knock.
You had to know it was coming.
VIT के एक player एक और knock.
And you pay the price.
T24 does get flushed in the meantime. S2G third partying this from the south side. Hot Jukes Razak.
केवल एक ही player I think बचे हुए हैं VIT के एक knock है। Oh.
Ruthless aggression roll up. Coming on in.
VIT eliminate
to take them down out of the ring. They are no longer in this Royal Rumble.
Ooh, welcome to Suplex City, baby. That's how you do it. 4 thrives, getting hot. 4 eliminations, taking out Team Vitality with a great shutdown there.
Hora और FL के बीच में यहाँ पे हो सकती है, लेकिन Hora यहाँ पे से निकलते हुए
next circle about to pop. Are we gonna see another crazy hard shift? We'll find out. Lord getting eliminated here, and south we go. Yoink!
All right. I mean, to be fair, this is actually kind of chill, given the layout of all of our teams,
sure,
right?
We're already here.
A lot of them decided to go down south. The major feature that caused this is those fields, right, that sit to the south of Hospital. Nobody wants to sit in them. It is really nasty to be in that sort of area, as well as Everest being a roadblocker on the northeast side of it. It creates this lineup. So teams funneled into this south side, so a circle like this actually benefits the majority of the lobby.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I mean, they were already all set up in this position. The zone going here, super beneficial.
Aura के बीच में Aura और NS के बीच में फाइट हो रही है फिलहाल. 2 प्लेयर Aura के भी डाउन है. भाई Aura eliminate होगी.
No doubt in my mind, that's how it should have gone in that last match. They made
भाई last match Aura का कमाल गई और NS ने ही last match में Aura को हराया था फाइनल में. भाई और यहाँ पे एक बार फिर से Aura eliminate हो गई एक बार फिर से NS से ही.
Join them back up on the podium because they are putting some pace down now, the South Korean side.
तो NS कहीं ना कहीं NS से फाइट नहीं ले पा रही Aura. पिछले 2 मैचों में तुम देखोगे तो लास्ट चिकन डिनर भी NS के कारण ही Aura नहीं ले पाई और अभी NS ने ही एलिमिनेट किया है Aura को.
I've had the pleasure of being able to spend some good quality time with the players from Aurora, especially after their performance.
अरीना कमाल कर रही है ब्रो. चारों प्लेयर अभी भी है 78 पॉइंट ऑलरेडी है. 2 एलिमिनेशन इसमें भी निकाल चुकी है अरीना. पहला एलिमिनेशन तो मैंने देखा था, दूसरा एक और एलिमिनेशन उसने निकाला है. कमाल है थोड़ा सा प्लेयर अलग अलग है अरीना के और वो कहीं ना कहीं फायदा दे रहा है. वैटिलिटी अगर तुम देखो अभी जो एलिमिनेट हुई चारों प्लेयर वैटिलिटी के एक ही जगह आ गए जिसके वजह से एक ही घर में और दोनों साइड से वो 4th लाइन ने वैसे भी खेल दिया जिसके वजह से वैटिलिटी यहाँ पे नॉकआउट एलिमिनेट हुई है.
Now 14 teams are remaining. We got Aurora.
2 टीम अभी एलिमिनेट हुई है वैटिलिटी और Aura. वे दोनों के अच्छे पॉइंट्स हैं मिला जुला के. Aura के तो 58 पॉइंट्स हैं, वैटिलिटी के भी 44 पॉइंट्स हैं. गॉडलाइक 22 है, OG 26 है. एलिमिनेशन अभी तक नहीं निकाले. इंडियन टीम कहीं ना कहीं ये तो देखने को मिल रहा है कि प्लेस पॉइंट निकालने की ज्यादा कोशिश हो रही है, एलिमिनेशन निकालने की कम हो रही है और वहीं पे कहीं ना कहीं इंडियन टीम थोड़ी पीछे रह रही है बोल सकते हो.
Also can't wait to hear what the Deaths has to say, especially about like that.
फाइट तो लेना पड़ेगा, ऐसा नहीं आपको अंतिम में ही फाइट लेना. ये अंतिम में केवल फाइट लेना ये थोड़ा गलत है. तो शुरू में भी फाइट लेने को मिल रहा तो फाइट तो लेना पड़ेगा क्योंकि एलिमिनेशन से भी तो पॉइंट्स बढ़ते हैं. कल हमने देखा था एक टीम केवल एलिमिनेशन के कारण बाय द वे टॉप 3 में थी और नाम में कोई याद नहीं आ रहा. केवल एलिमिनेशन के कारण टॉप 3 में थी. 27 एलिमिनेशन थे और प्लेस पॉइंट केवल 4 था. ओ सर्कल अब दूसरे साइड बन गया थोड़ा.
was then completely blocked off. The gap started to close.
फाइट तो निकालनी पड़ेगी, एलिमिनेशन पॉइंट निकालने पड़ेंगे.
Pacey enough to catch up this time. Yeah, disappointing, unfortunate. Maybe they need a hot drop to be able to perform well in these games. Maybe Ida should go back to Pachinki, and that's what they've read into. But you know, Ida pretty happy with themselves what they did right now because they have that gap.
Okay, NGX पे वैसे भी फाइट हो रही है थोड़ी.
Teams in the northeast side in these open fields.
And they get blessed here in this circle, and that just goes to show sometimes a hot drop is good to avoid. Satan all by himself. Oh, he's so in trouble. It's on fire. That Murado, he's gonna have to pop out, lay down, and Nongshim Red.
Okay, NX के player नहीं fight किया I think.
There. This is like literally the worst location he can be stuck in too. Not good. Well, yeah, just a bad game for Enigma Galaxy. Overall, still a couple more though in the books.
It's not terrible for him in this position, right? You have this little defilade. You're kind of covered off from the buildings out in the open. The nades though from Nongshim Force does make it all the more terrible.
That looks pretty terrible.
उल्टा हो गया है. NGX ने डाउन कर दिया NS के प्लेयर को.
Less terrible now. Yeah, Satan on the move. Did get a nice knock there, and now it's bad.
Okay, yeah, well, he's not there
anymore. NGX eliminated हो गई है bro.
There is a little bit of cover, and teams on that ridgeline can't necessarily peek over the top. The reason that they were able to do so is because there isn't so many teams out in the open fields, right? And if it happened a little bit later, maybe that would have changed. So I think I read a little bit too much into that to call it enough cover. But either way, he does go down.
6 shot though.
One of the very few players to be able to knock Hyunbin on that trade, though.
Yep, that was really nice.
Just saying.
Just saying, indeed. Not an easy feat.
Hora.
Wow, what happened to Hora?
They tried to roll in from the west side, and it didn't work. I think that's a pretty apt summation of what's about to happen.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, you do. Orangutan have a real opportunity, though, to find an isolated outpost as the south side gets hot as well.
Yeah, it's getting hot indeed. You can see Oh So Easy on fire. They're down to 1 HP. He's gonna get knocked.
ULA और NS के बीच में फाइट हो रही है, I think.
S2G.
And now here comes S2G. This Wizard Tower is by far one of the most dominant positions in this zone, and that's why so many teams they want
NS के एक ही player बचा हुआ बचा है.
S2G on the push.
ULA के फिलहाल चारों player हैं.
Wizard Tower is weak for this hillside. Starting to throw some utility out, trying to see if they can get
S2G और ULA के बीच में फाइट हो सकती है, bro.
Seems like they're slowing it down though. Over on the northwest side, you've got E-Arena at loggerheads. Scrapping it out across the
Arena और Fury के बीच में फाइट हो रही है.
Players now down. Tony K's on the inside, terminating with the P90.
एक player down है Arena का. Fury
gets the ammo back into control. The West can come through as well for the backlines.
भाई Arena
are going to get dismantled, and they get
कमाल
taken
करती है भाई
down.
Arena.
Oh, it's rough.
Okay, अब G के टीम को by the way हमला करने की कोशिश Arena की तरफ से.
Really on the run here.
Holy और Godlike by the way दो elimination निकाल चुके हैं फिलहाल.
Next zone, where's he going? If it centers up, it's going to be disgusting as that field is wide open.
Godlike के दो player बचे हुए OG के चारों player हैं सर. दो player जो है Godlike के वहाँ पे FL और Godlike के बीच में fight हो रही है. जी और यहाँ पे एक down हो चुका है Godlike के. FL के भी एक down है but वो revive हो चुका है. Okay, Admino ने by the way down किया है. Okay, चलो टीम फ्लैश को एलिमिनेट किया गॉडलाइक ने. 4 किल हो चुके हैं एलिमिनेशन.
And finish 4 points on the side of Godlike. Haven't had the hottest of starts here. Still putting up some points on the board though. OG, other Indian team, putting in some nice knocks. And Godlike,
OG 28 by the way दो एलिमिनेशन के साथ OG के भी.
Leaderboards again. Still a lot of matches left to be played. This could be that start for them to take charge. Few good games is all it takes.
There's fewer and fewer matches though getting played. Alula try and roll up, try and take this fight with S2G, but it's not going super well for them as they haven't even been able to find that knock onto Hamzy. Down the hill, he was able to survive on a sliver of HP, gets the healing done nice and fast, and S2G can transition now without Alula breathing down their necks. They've only got one player, and Yasser is already sending out into the open. 4 Thrives getting roadblocked on the northern rotate as Ulf and the Arena sit in front of them. Alula losing their final backstop, and Godlike now trying to roll up into the engagement as Ida takes shots from a distance.
Yeah, and that's it for Alula. Now you got S2G that we're holding this Wizard Tower here, but is now outside of the circle. They're gonna have to get moving. Meanwhile, you got Tianba trying to get rezzed up here. Out in the open. They got a couple busted up vehicles here for cover, utilizing those smokes as well, but the pressure is imminent. Now comes Scarface. Scarface with a nice nade onto Joker. That's gonna finally pepper E-Arena's position. But now E-Arena are in this next zone.
Okay, Godlike के मानिया.
Trying to possibly gatekeep.
यहाँ पे ग्रेनेड हो रही है. बच गया. S2G की तरफ से नेड किया जा रहा है Godlike पे. और दूसरी साइड NS के भी प्लेयर है.
A spiteful look in his eye, a glint.
Godlike S2G. NS पे ही हमला हो गया. S2G ने NS पे ही हमला कर दिया और NS टीम एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है फिलहाल.
That's huge. Now they don't got to worry about that anymore. But now they got to worry about.
Okay, एक प्लेयर Godlike के फिर से डाउन हो गए भाई.
One of those players up close and personal. Gonna switch on fights.
S2G और Godlike के बीच में फाइट हो रही है भाई.
Top team in the lobby still alive.
ये एडमिनो बाय द वे लॉन्ग रेंज में नॉक हो चुका है. आई थिंक वो फिनिश हो जाएंगे मेरे ख्याल से. लग तो रहा वो जोन में ही नॉक हुआ लग रहा. पता नहीं.
Mino goes down and now playing on as 2 chunks being torn out of
2v4 है by the way. S2G के चारों प्लेयर है.
With that P90 finds a load of elims from Ulf.
एक और डाउन हो चुका है Godlike के प्लेयर.
Now take it out. That is huge. That's going to be from Aching. Tianba now getting in the mix. They know it's E-Arena. So if you're Tianba, this needs to be your hard focus here. You want to be able to slow them down.
I mean, you want to, sure. You absolutely do. But the question is, can you? With Tony K out, you're right.
केवल एक ही प्लेयर बचा है मानने. वो भी खत्म Godlike.
Do you have ammo for it though? Or
I believe he
एलिमिनेट हो गई इंडियन एक टीम.
From the body. But it's a hard shift again.
What is going on?
It has to touch the previous circle.
It's a roll.
I'm telling you.
OG के फिलहाल चारों प्लेयर हैं. चलो दूसरी इंडियन टीम जो है फिलहाल सही खेल रही है. Okay, 40 versus ULF.
Taken a knee. Scarface down low. Last player alive for Ulf.
और नेड आया. खत्म.
Right by the wheel arch and it's right in his face. Scarface.
भाई नेड एग्जैक्ट था फिर.
Oh man, he ate that one and
ULF is eliminate. Exact nade आया देखो.
Able to keep things alive. No idea what that was.
Okay, 6 टीम बची हुई है, 19 प्लेयर है टोटल.
Not so lucky.
ये चौथा गेम है भाई तब आज का. आज 8 मैच होने वाले हैं. तो अभी 50% हुए, 4 गेम और हो गए.
Covering off the south rotate, and I feel like E-Arena sweeping around may not be the worst idea. Maybe try and push through 4 Thrives. Continue on. Challenge S2G's backstop, maybe. Oh, it's a difficult approach. No matter which way you cut it. But for E-Arena, they're already on 6 elims, Dukes. They're already into the top 6. They're having a good game, and everybody from 2nd down to 6th has already gone down.
Oh, Schweppes spins out and gets punished. Balak barely moving out the way, gets a couple, but now there's Mormon up. IQ, gotta make a play here. You need to stop E-Arena.
Arena 14 के बीच में फाइट हो रही है by the way. दोनों ही कमाल की टीम है.
They take down Balak.
दोनों ही अच्छी खेल रही है. अरीना तो ऑलरेडी अच्छी खेल ही रही है. 40 भी अच्छी खेल रही है. ग्रेनेड आया by the way. अरीना एलिमिनेट हो गई है ब्रो. और 4 ड्राइव के भी हालांकि एक ही प्लेयर बचे हुए हैं, बट अरीना की टीम एलिमिनेट हो गई है भाई. 10 एलिमिनेशन 4 ड्राइव ने निकाल लिए by the way. 10 एलिमिनेशन, सबसे ज्यादा एलिमिनेशन by the way इस मैच में अभी तक. दूसरे पे S2G है 7 नंबर पे, 7 एलिमिनेशन के साथ. ओजी 2 एलिमिनेशन है by the way ओजी के भी.
In the thick of it, the fight seemingly where the flower of their success has bloomed. IQ now rolls over the top.
Okay. 40 खत्म. एक ही प्लेयर by the way 40 का बचा हुआ था. 4 ड्राइव्स भी एलिमिनेट हो गई है. टियान ने by the way मौके का फायदा उठाया. टियान के by the way 4 प्लेयर नहीं, 2 प्लेयर है टियान के. 1 प्लेयर है by the way अब. ओ टियान भी खत्म. S2G ने by the way ओजी भाई चिकन कर सकती है. लेट्स गो. चारों प्लेयर by the way ओजी के जो है फिलहाल बचे हुए हैं.
Isn't that great?
It's almost like it was a good idea.
भाई 2 प्लेयर एक साथ डाउन कैसे?
That not dying immediately would be a good idea. Orangutan.
ओ ये गलत मूव है भाई. ओपन में गलत मूव है.
I don't think you last that much longer here.
भाई ओके सर्कल था तो आना भी था.
I feel like we're just waiting for him to go down here.
Oh yeah.
And he falls.
Goodbye at S2G.
भाई S2G ने ओजी को भी एलिमिनेट कर दिया. IDA S2G 2 टीम 4 प्लेयर by the way. ओके 4v4 है by the way. आइडिया वही टीम है by the way. कल by the way आइडिया बहुत ही खराब खेल रही थी, बट आज अच्छी खेल रही है और 4v4 है by the way आइडिया और S2G के बीच में.
Within their compound, and with this circle, they have to leave. There is no two ways about it. They have to get out of there. The question is how you do it. The start needs to be a big pick.
The zone didn't touch the edge.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
What a change up here. Kamikaze able to find a P90 and full level 3 gear. Oh,
okay, S2G flying now, bro.
So good on the side of S2G. Gotta be careful though. He's gonna be hiding behind this tree. Cannot afford to get knocked, but they have full control of the circle. Ida have to move out.
S2G by the way सर्कल में ओके. आइडिया को सर्कल में आना पड़ेगा. तो S2G के पास एडवांटेज है ब्रो. सर्कल में आ गई S2G. आइडिया को सर्कल में आना पड़ेगा. गाड़ी ओ एक प्लेयर डाउन हो चुके हैं. एक प्लेयर डाउन हो चुका है आइडिया के.
The pickup, but Rita may be able to find something. The fact that there's only 1 knock set to Ida is not great for S2G. But
oh नहीं 2 प्लेयर डाउन हो गए.
And Emre charges in, but the ammo count.
और अब तीसरा प्लेयर भी कहीं ना कहीं डाउन होने की कगार पे. S2G के भी एक प्लेयर डाउन है, लेकिन 3 प्लेयर S2G के बाकी है.
He'll take that point. All right, well that's
okay. आइडिया के 2 प्लेयर बाकी है, S2G के 3 प्लेयर बाकी है.
Looking to make this happen unless
okay.
Gets a good shot. He's only got 21 rounds left
in the mini 14.
And Kamikaze's full level 3'd out.
आइडिया के 2 प्लेयर by the way डाउन है.
I mean, there's plenty of ammo left in the back pocket.
Okay, S2G को 2v2
steps out a little bit too wide there.
वो आइडिया टक्कर दे रही है भाई. 2v2 है by the way. जोन है आइडिया, जोन नहीं आइडिया के पास.
Seemed like they had complete broadside here, but now
नहीं जोन में तो जाना पड़ेगा.
Bait Sulky out for the peak, but doesn't quite confirm. He's
still
down on his belly though.
2v2 है by the way.
The fight does take a lick back, but Sulky puts him down. A 1 versus 2.
वो आइडिया के 1 versus 2 आइडिया के एक ही प्लेयर है by the way. तो S2G के पास अब एडवांटेज हो गया.
Hit the gas. Darkin coming up close and personal. It has.
और S2G ने by the way मार दी है बारी. Chicken dinner.
Big S2G chicken dinner.
S2G going God mode at the end there. Chokehold on the zone, able to take it all down. Nobody standing in their way. Really nicely felt there on that south edge. For Ida, a little bit too passive in their zone, in their compound, but they survived deep into the match, Dukes, and that is a good result. I feel like they were able to do, well, I know that they were able to do a lot more than they've done in any other Erangel over the course of this tournament.
Yeah, or any other game in this tournament.
Of these finals.
Yeah, this is huge for the side of Ida. Honestly, a great finish. They were stuck in those buildings. That's a hard one to win. I just personally would rather see them just from those buildings really try to pursue a knock before just randomly sending it in. I think that would have been the play. But hey, you know what? To each their own. Sometimes you got to go for it. It could have gone either way. Yeah. But S2G, I mean, they're so good at just popping people out of vehicles that it just made it hard. But we did see that solo player from Ida really put in work towards the end, almost turned things around for them.
I mean, Emery was doing a lot over in the open field there. I feel like what happened there was that they got information on the backlines on towards where Lost was, and they were able to flow out that way, and that's what they went for in those final moments. Maybe a little bit over-invested on the angle though.
Let's listen in to hear what they have to say on that match.
यहाँ पे अगर नॉक निकालते आइडिया का प्लेयर तो फिर भाई 1v1 हो जाता.
Arabayla çıkıyor, sağ çıkıyor. Tamam. Hamsi çok iyi bakman lazım ona. Hadi arabayı tutacağım. Bakacağım. Ha çok mermim yok, sıkmayacağım, gelsin. Geliyor, sana geliyor. Pozisyon alacağım. Nice oğlum, nice. Çok iyisin.
That sounded really chill. That sounded really chill, relaxed. They felt in control, and I could smell it.
Oh yeah, they knew that was their win. Yeah, let's get high, folks. This is what it's all about. The best of the best on the planet, battling it out for some major money. What a game. S2G finally get their win here, and we still got a whole bunch of more games coming up.
WC 26, I'm the 7WG, and I'm joined by none other than the record-breaking man, Snacks Gaming. Snacks, how are you enjoying Paris so far?
I'm in amazing bonjour and representing India here doing the watch party. I'm the first Indian ever to host a watch party officially from the S-tier tournament, world stage.
Live भी है by the way, Snacks.
First Indian ever to do the watch party, and I'm super proud that these 8 boys, the game they showed in the group stage, the way they qualified, the standard they have set, because we don't get to play regularly these lobbies, and the way they adapted these lobbies and the way they qualified made us proud, and that's why I'm here.
That's the biggest one, the way that they have adapted to the lobby. I feel like it's one of their biggest strengths too. We saw that with OG, we saw it with Godlike as well. Talking about Godlike, no more hot drops out of that team. They started performing a lot better here in these last matches.
In the group stage, as they said, they did try to experiment the drop fights. I mean, they had a lot of drop fights, but initially for the first day of the group stage, they didn't felt good after taking the drop fights. They switched the playstyle, and now they're playing safe for the initial part of the drop. Then after that, if they survive 4-man, you have seen the players' potential. The way S-Power clutched. I mean, I feel like it's going to be the clutch of the tournament. The way he played. The gunpower these boys have is insane. I just want them to stick together, play 4-man together, because in this lobby, it's all about team game. It's all about the way these teams isolate fights. And I wish they play together and they bring something really good performance back for India.
And I'm hoping that's going to be the case, especially with the first round that we just saw, and then on the upcoming matches as well. I think they will be able to bounce back. I have Godlike finishing in top 5 and OG finishing in top 10.
Damn.
What are your predictions, brother?
I mean, I just want them to do good, because we don't know the struggle they have been going through. We don't know the grind, how much grind they have did. Everything answers only through the gameplay. I wish we get top 5 for both the teams. It's going to be a huge thing for India, because again, I said we don't get used to play regularly in these lobbies, and we get more opportunities because of these boys. And all these players watching from India, all these esports players watching from India, they'll get inspired and they'll feel motivated to do more for the country.
100%. Shukriya, bye. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show, and I hope that the Indian teams continue to step it up. Back for some more PMWC at EWC 26.
Okay. लेट्स गो भाई। अभी 4 मैच हुए बाय द वे, 4 मैच और अभी होने बाकी है। ये अभी 4 मैच हुए बाय द वे, आज 8 मैच होने वाला, 6 मैच नहीं होंगे क्योंकि कल के 2 मैच बाय द वे बाकी है, तो कल के 2 मैच भी आज ही होने वाले हैं। जी हाँ, कल के 2 मैच भी बाय द वे आज ही होने वाले, तो अभी 2 मैच बाय द वे और बाकी है गाइस। जी हाँ, फिलहाल जो है 2 मैच बाय द वे अभी बाकी है भाई लोग। लेट्स गो गाइस।
We finally got a chance to see S2G the way that we have been wanting them to, pretty much having to grind out that circle, having to push people away like they were able to do with Alula.
It was clearly a Turkish wombo combo right there. First and second place got Ida getting himself to second place finally, right? Can talk about that a bit later on. But yeah, S2G, beautiful fight onto Al-Ula. There was Godlike, there was also Nongshim Red Force, and they were all vying for that one Harry Potter tower down on the southern edge. And overall, the fighting capabilities of S2G have been soaring in the finals, and we just see more consistency, which is what I was hoping to see from this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy.
25 पॉइंट बाय द वे S2G को मिले, 4 ट्राइब्स 13 पॉइंट, क्योंकि 15 एलिमिनेशन भी निकाले प्लस बुइया और प्लस चिकन डिनर। अरीना 9 पॉइंट है बाय द वे, 7 एलिमिनेशन के साथ 9 पॉइंट है। अरीना भी जबकि अच्छी खेली थी, 9 पॉइंट है 7 एलिमिनेशन के साथ।
I'd have them separately. You know, S2G, you know, maybe up here, then Ida maybe down here, something like that.
I feel like they was the only time I could really say it, so that's why.
Sitting at the end giggling at you guys. Can I just hand it over to IQ? Can I just like an MVP right now? Because holy guacamole, the clutch insanity from IQ right now. Obviously, you know, we kind of want the rest of Fourth Rhymes to join in on that action, but the clutch ability and also the decision making and the macro calls from IQ right now is insane. Also, the opening fights and frags that IQ is doing. We obviously saw it on the rooftop. I think I blinked. I think me and Max just kind of blinked, and I was like, wow, that was the fastest kill I've kind of seen. But like, it's insane the performance coming out of a single player right now.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw him being able to get that first knock on Vitality. I ended up jumping off my seat, Max, because that was such a good opening, and it was actually the decision making, as you were just mentioning, Lace. The decision making from this squad is something that we keep kind of questioning, but they were able to just send it right away to Vitality without even thinking about it. They were like, one knock, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good decision making overall. We're just trading mics all over the place. But no, it's lovely to see that IQ gets that opening knock with an insanely accurate burst spray. Right, that was just a beautiful execution, and the team's like, well, we have the man advantage. Might as well send it and actually get that engagement. So yeah, IQ's just been spectacular, not just in terms of the eliminations able to get. We're just trading stuff right now still. But also in the terms of the opportunities he is able to create for the entirety of his team. And when an opportunity has been made, man, they just fully send it.
They do fully send it. Let's take a look. Actually, I want to see 4Thrive stats so far, because this team is one that has been picking it up so far today. They've been getting those eliminations. I want to see a little bit more placement points out of this squad, especially for this last match. IQ is not just Falag too, Blank, because that's one thing that we always talk about 4Thrives. Falag, who Sypha has been able to step it up to when we ended up thinking about PMGO. T24 is that player that just really hasn't been performing that well. I'm hoping is going to start picking it up.
I mean, T24 has always been a really good player, right, overall, which has been nice to see. But you're right, Huzaifa putting a lot of work here. IQ, you were talking about clutch ability with the macro play as well on side. I mean, he's making some good calls right now. I think for this game, you're getting deeper and deeper into these matches is a really, really important thing for 4Thrives. There was a lot of love from the crowd there as well, which was great to see. Also, going to just say, why have you got a heavier mic than to all of us? Your mic like is...
Here, let's switch it.
What, you want yours back? King Mike.
So I can talk to Tomash.
This one's like less. Ooh,
better.
Yeah, this one's lights, you know, light on my feet on the desk. You can call this the desk because I'm more of a couch. But yeah, overall, I think I completely agree with you. Macro-wise, looking great. I do just want to kind of bring it back to Tiamba right now. They did drop in.
Max, don't leave me hanging. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
please go on.
Let's chat about Tiamba, right? We had a lot to talk about them today, didn't we, Lace? But they've dropped in a new sub now in Shallow. Milu's out for the time being. I think that the team definitely slowed down. Slowed down in a big way. It is hurting them a lot. We're not seeing those snap decisions anymore.
Yeah, it's not even like that they're trying to do something a little bit different. It's now just their strategy is not working for it's insane to see. They're still making the same strategies, the rotates, but when going into a fight now, they seem to be losing it, which they're playing their same game, but it's not working out for them. So I'm seeing what I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Me too. And one team that's been picking it up, especially here in the last couple of games too, has been OG. OG has been able to step it up. We saw them finish in the top 4 situation right there. And they've been seeing, we even saw them in Rondo being able to get eliminations too, switching it up a little bit more, using the Rondo, since they're able to revive people, trying to be more aggressive, Max.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see the aggression we witnessed from them back in their respective group, right? It kind of fizzled out. They've been more passive from time to time. But no, here actually a really good 2-2 split, maintaining that high ground position up north and sending 2 players down. I understand the reasoning behind it, but at the end, pushing that compound is incredibly rough onto Ida as we check out all of the winning teams of today. But I do want to highlight here before we do wrap up this desk, man, Ida finally gave up the drop onto Nigma Galaxy. Oh my goodness.
Okay, Erangel, Miramar. So अभी लगातार 2 Erangel के मैच होंगे, फिर Miramar के होंगे.
Expecting them to clutch up there versus S2G, because that is very typical Ida, is just to get all the way to an end game and then just have a really silly win at the end of it.
Yeah. Ida, sorry, I'm thinking about Furia because I saw them being able to get that chicken dinner earlier in the day. But Ida, yes, I agree with both of you. I'm glad that they finally just stopped doing that hot drop and decided to change their mentality, because they were in last place before they decided to make that change. One team that's currently not in last place and is wanting to challenge that first place is none other than Furia, and I believe Kalara's got a chance to talk to them.
Hey guys, of course I am down here on the stage with Ayala, as I have him after this great performance here throughout day number 2 of the finals. My first question here for Erangel is, sorry, Miramar even I should say, in the second Miramar. You guys had great space control to be able to eventually get yourself to that win. So talk to me about that late game and what threats you might face.
Queria perguntar como é que foi o jogo de Miramar para vocês, né? Ali no final, como é que vocês estavam se sentindo ali no late game? Qual foi a estratégia de vocês?
E aí, tudo bem? Esse jogo aí a gente começou perdendo o chifre, só que a gente não desistiu e continuou querendo. A gente jogou bem esse jogo mesmo estando em trio. Então a gente ganhou os morros, foi jogando juntos e a gente conseguiu ganhar a play.
So it was very nice play. We managed to get it through with 3 players, so it was really important for us. We made the right decisions and we could get it.
Awesome. So let's talk about the Rondo for a moment, because that was great as well. You guys eventually entered into the silos, the urban area and things like that. And I thought you were going to be in a lot of trouble, but you actually looked amazing in that execution. So what were your concerns on Rondo? Who were you kind of looking out for, and how did you execute that?
A partida de Rondo também foi muito boa, né? Vocês entraram ali no silo e ficaram por ali. Parecia que ia dar ruim algumas horas, mas conseguiram sair muito bem. Quais eram as suas preocupações ali nessa queda e nessa partida? O que vocês estavam sentindo?
Nessa partida de Rondo, a gente começou bem, fazendo mais kills no começo, depois fomos pegando mais kills, só que a gente errou em algumas coisas no finalzinho que a gente depois da play conversou, então tomara que nas próximas plays a gente consiga ajeitar tudo para conseguir ganhar esse campeonato.
So it was a pretty nice match. We managed to get some kills on the start and in the middle game, but by the end we did some mistakes, but after the game we talked, we solved those mistakes and we are better for the next ones.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ayala. That is it for us here down on the stage.
Thank you, Kalaris, and thank you, Ayala, as well, for that great answer. And yeah, for this team, I mean, they started off hot today. This last match, though, ended up being a big old donut. I think they'll be able to bounce back.
Ayala, you may have your driver's license back. I will bestow it upon you once more, because now the decisions to use the vehicle are working for you and not just going in there and seeing what sticks. But no, look, the elimination consistency from Furia is, you know, we always speak about it. They are a sort of an aggressive, dominant team. But now, you heard it from them. They're taking it there. They are moving a little bit further in placement points, which is exciting to see, especially on the map where they got their chicken dinner and the way that they were able to just wait sometimes they just get a little bit too happy, aggressive, and they're like, you know what, we're going to create our own play. However, the patience that they are showing now, especially Max, it's just working for them, and it's a great Furia look.
It really is. I mean, I kind of want to go a little bit deeper almost on Furia in the sense that I was expecting Silence and Ayala to put up big numbers, which they still are on occasion, but I feel like Higor has really risen up the ranks in this tournament. He's gotten so many great plays. Sometimes where players will give him a lot of 1v1s, and you don't want to do that to Higor because you will get those eliminations if you give them that slightest opportunity to fight back. But yeah, Higor is looking great. So literally the entirety of Furia has that potential to be in the top 10 players in this event.
But you got to remember, Igor, too, is a player that has won MVP in the past for Americas, too, when he ended up being in previous teams before joining Furia, right? So we know that he can definitely put up those points. We just want to see Silence even more. Silence, what's your pick for MVP? But let's take a look at the overall so we can see where some of these squads are currently sitting at, because I would love to see where Furia is currently at, with E-Arena still being in first place, the gap being there about 18 points from Ulf Esports.
Well, I mean, for Ayala and Chief as well, like back in Liquid days, I think for, honestly, those boys, the big thing about their team play was that they locked down endgames massively. They massively locked down endgames. We're not quite getting there yet. We are slowing things down, like you say, Lace, which is a very, very good thing to get those placement points on board. But I think that as soon as we start seeing Fury in those endgames, we're looking really good. Enigma Galaxy's still up there. Ulf looking fantastic. I mean, it's more consistent than anything. They haven't really been a big driver in these matches, but sitting at 67 points right now, I think they can push that a little bit further. But Aurora slowly slipping down these rankings now.
Yeah, Aurora is starting to be a bit of a red flag for me as well, Lace.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing to see. They're getting active and busy in sort of these mid games, but they're not sort of pushing it any further than that, and not sort of solidifying any eliminations. It's kind of like I feel like Aurora and especially Ulf, they're obviously doing well. They're not on that second page, but I kind of feel like they're just sliding by. Consistency's there. I would say Aurora has dropped more consistency than Ulf, for example, but I'm kind of just feeling like they're grazing by.
I mean, Aurora, actually, if you compare it, the placement points to the teams above them, they all got wins, right? 1 win, 2 wins. So actually, the placement points are not bad. It's just really the eliminations they're missing out on. Second page, though, teams
which is wild.
Yeah, starting to still linger down here. But keep in mind, Ida started the day with 2 points. Now they got 25. They're not in the bottom rank anymore.
Stop hyping them up. They've had one good game.
I got to praise them. They didn't hot drop. Okay, so I don't want them to go back to it. Good job, Ida. Keep it up. Yeah,
it's like a kindergarten right now.
Ida fighting.
Good job. You used blue instead of red there.
You get a gold star.
Done. Yeah. I mean, I want to see more Ida. I think Emre's a great player, but we have to be honest. We do have to be honest here about it, where it's not looking great. I'd like to see them push that a little bit further now going forward. But yeah, I do think they're a good team. I think they're a good team. It's just I want to see more out of them. And until then, I'm not going to be praising them for not hot dropping 3 times in a row.
I will. I'm still happy. So
I know you're a lovely guy compared to me.
Hey. By the way, I want to say I'm a little bit scared for Ulf because they're in second place. They got the second place curse. They're Suk 2.0, right? PMGC last year. PMGO Season 1, they got second place, right? Just behind the likes of Fourth Rise and just above Furia. Second place and Ulf is not a great storyline. They're not friends, but they're still up there.
Don't say this to me.
What was that about the nice guy thing? No. Look, I obviously on that second page just want to touch on Godlike. Their close range battles, amazing. But unfortunately, they're sort of hanging around that engagement too long. And these are sort of in the mid to late games where obviously smaller circle, more teams, third parties are happening. So they're not sort of leaving this engagement fast enough and making that decision to put themselves in a nice spot. However, yeah, their fights, close range, mid range, in buildings has been so good to watch. And whether it be the whole team or just 2 of them, they do have that firepower and strength and they're holding on really well. So I do hope that, you know, after this engagement, they can move a little further in with their placement and just get those top 5s.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. It is a great point there. Close range combat is really, really good. I think so far in the finals, S-Power has made the best play to date.
Yes.
His Longhouse fight was just, he was a weapon in that moment, a deadly one at that. I mean, the Molotov through the door, I think the impressive thing about that, it doesn't look amazing in the moment, but the amount of times teams will just bank that Molotov off the doorway and it will just burn yourself out. He ends up finishing Vitality with that Molotov, so it's like a lot of presence of mind in those moments. moments, which is great. But coming back to your point, I think there needs to be, yeah, exactly, presence of mind going forward after that of where you want to take the next thing. I'm willing to give this team the benefit of the doubt right now. I still think they're trying to figure out the pressure on a main stage like this, and it's totally okay. And I think they should be proud of what they've done. I think it's nice to see two Indian orgs with like very different play styles as well, you know, learning the battlefield and actually doing fairly good in it. I think OG as well is starting to level up. Aru's getting those eliminations, but so is Atanki. And I think Atanki was a great player.
That was the biggest question mark for OG, right? Wondering when the other players were going to start showing up, not just Aru. And I'm with you with during the Godlike and that Molotov. In that moment, we were all hyped. We were like, yes, that was an amazing Molotov because it stopped the other team from being able to just fully flush out the players that were not from him. But before we send it over to the next match, let's send it over to Kalaris and Neptera.
That's right, down on the stage here, of course, with Neptera, Goddess of the Sea, here as we have had 4 games down, 4 games to go. We're going to talk about some of the teams as well, Nep, as we had Furia, looking fantastic so far. Let's just ignore game 1 for a second. But other than that, looks really, really good throughout the day.
It has. I'm really, really excited to see what Furia is actually going to be doing moving forward into the next couple of games, because they are looking just so much better. Their synergy is on point. You can tell the communication is much better. You know, Ayala and Silence, again, in that Miramar, got to shout out them. They were looking very, very good. You know, just being able to play together and work around each other in a way that we were not seeing yesterday. So, yeah, I am really excited with them. They're being very decisive as well, using zone, using other teams. So I do like that a lot for them.
Yeah, listening to Ayala just before in that interview, right, very clearly that they're able to shrug off any inconsistencies, shrug off any kind of challenges that do come their way, have a little conversation about it, and then be able to get right back on the horse again to be able to put themselves in a great spot. So I think I've particularly been impressed by the fact that Furia, when they basically fourth-partied that fight on the Miramar, just to clear out that west side was so pivotal to be getting that win.
Oh, it was, and it was such great knowledge of what the teams had to do, right? Not just worrying about their game, but also worrying about what the other teams, what their options were in that zone, right? You know, they were making sure that S2G couldn't come around to the south side. They were making sure Hora didn't push them either, that they were forced into each other. So really just narrowing everybody else's team, everybody else's options, and that is what I love in a team, is that team control, not worrying so much about themselves, but how do we make everybody else work for us?
Let's talk about one of the big names from the group stage, of course, 4 Thrives, that I know a lot of people are looking at and having big expectations of, and rightly so considering what we saw from them in the group stage.
Yeah, I really am hopeful for them because, yeah, again, similar to Furia, right, 4 Thrives had a rocky start to the finals, but what we're seeing from them, particularly in that last Erangel, is they're starting to do their splits over onto that west side. They're starting to split up, they're starting to spread out, they're starting to take up more space, have a little bit more presence, and to me, that tells me that they're feeling very confident now. They're starting to get that confidence back. For me, I want to see just a little bit more of snappy action coming in. They need to make those rotations a little bit quicker. They need to make those plays a little bit quicker. Those decision making, the timing has to be snappier for me, but otherwise it's just looking really much better.
There's been some good moments, but there is also the fact that this lobby has now leveled up even further. They were able to thrive in the group of death, no doubt about it, but it really has been quite the test here so far for them, especially when they find themselves in some of those split positions where, unfortunately, I kind of, again, like the Rondo situation, I think it's just a little too early to be there, and then eventually they get caved in on. Finally, let's talk about Flash.
Yes.
A team that had like big expectations as well coming in to this tournament as a whole. Not quite got their footing underneath them, though. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I think, I'm not sure what's happened, right, because we did see them have, they never had a huge presence, I feel like, even in the group stage, right? They were never this massive frag team, but they always had this quiet dominance. They were always able to be in those end stages. They were always able to take home a few eliminations, even if it wasn't a podium win. And today and yesterday, there's not even that. There's nothing. They're playing very compact. They're playing very much by themselves. They're not really looking to other players. If players look at them, they're like, no, please don't do that. You know, it's just like, it's odd, and with just nothing in them.
Is it because Max picked them to win?
Possibly. It is possible.
Yeah, possibly. Who just laughed in my ear? What was that? Was that our producer?
I think it was.
Even the producer knows about the Max Man curse. This is ridiculous. But yeah.
Infamous.
I think in the group stage they had some good splits and stuff like that, but yeah, we've got to get a little bit more here in the finals. All right, it's time to get into our next game here. Game number 5 of the day here for PMWC Day 2 finals.
Thank you very much, Kalaris and Netura down on the stage, leading us into the not the final. There we go. Get ahead of myself. Goodness me. We're on to match number 9. We're on our middle billing of Erangel today, and we have one more match of it after this as well, as we are near enough crossing the halfway mark of our day after this one as well. Of course, this will be the 4th match that we played on our big bumper bonus day of 8 matches.
Let's get into it. This Erangel is going to be a big one right here. We've already played 2 matches of Miramar. We had a Rondo, and now we are getting into our 2nd match of Erangel here. And it's going to be interesting to see just which team is going to come out on top, because we're starting to see a little bit of differences here, right? We're starting to see some of the squads at the bottom show up. It's good to see EDA make some noise, and honestly, if they were going to start making a run, now's the time. So it's good to see that movement happen. There's still plenty of games. You've seen plenty of times teams, boom, right, get back-to-back chicken dinners. And let's see if now is going to be that opportune time for EDA, now that they're no longer hot-dropping Enigma Galaxy.
Maybe they're feeling themselves after that one.
Yeah.
They're just going to go back.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah. Or like, hang on a minute. We're quite good at this. We got late into that game. You know, let's go back on hot drop them, because we'll win now, right? Right? Don't think that's going to work out. Hopefully they stay away, but that might be good news for everybody who's facing Enigma Galaxy. We saw their 2-2 split out from Pachinki not really work out too well from them in that last game. The circle shifts were very, very dramatic. I think it's safe to say for the majority of the zones, right up until the final one, where it started to get a little bit more sensible by that time. So many had already fallen victim to the circle on those shifts, on those rotates. It was pretty difficult to even get to that stage. Not many teams did. Plane path now sending down the east side of the mainland, going between Stalber and Severny and heading over to Novo. So potentially difficult to get out towards Gatka. And you know, this is the sort of situation where I feel like EDA might just go back to Pachinki.
Oh, that would be a sight to see, that is for sure. But the plane's in the air, the island's down below. Erangel's officially open for business, and oh man, if we see them go back to Pachinki.
They can't get to Gatka.
I know they can't, but they gotta adapt. You gotta be able to make those changes. They're able to push themselves outside of last place. 25 points on the board. If they get a good performance here, they absolutely can make a run for it. But let's see what happens. You got Vitality already out, heading towards Stalber. You got Aura going up towards...
Oh, Crisis averted.
Yes.
They're going east.
They're going east. Good play. EDA making some adjustments.
Oh, hang on a minute. One of them's going... Dark is going east. Okay, they're doing it. Okay, they're going for the Milton Peninsula, it seems. Going for a little bit of a split drop, sending Darkin out, grabbing a vehicle to get on in and involved.
Little Milton power action.
Just because it's not EDA going to Pachinki doesn't mean anyone else can't go there, but I don't think anyone else has. So I was keeping track of that. That's a nasty circle for this sort of a plane path as well. Does a lot of work to push these teams close together. Sure, it has some of the military base in. It's just very, very unlikely. I would give it about maybe 10% likelihood that you're going over to that military base. Which is it's non-zero.
It's not zero.
It's non-zero, but yeah, I feel like teams are going to really start to pack in around Quarry in about 5 minutes.
That's what I would do. Honestly, I'd probably make that timing a little bit shorter, especially if you're a team like Aurora, loot up military super fast, get moving across that bridge and secure those locations really early on, because with so much zone in the water, this is essentially like a circle 3 at this point. There's not very many great spots available. You're going to have to get moving here pretty quickly. And you can also get moving inside the game and get yourself that Ninetales Fury Awe, guys. Go ahead and get in there quick. The Uzumaki Naruto event, by far one of the best collabs PUBG Mobile has ever done. Still around. Don't miss out.
It's looking fresh. You saw, if you missed the show match earlier, make sure that once this stream is done, go back and check it out.
Yeah.
It was mighty fun, and of course we had to let Alpha 7 win something, even though they didn't make it to the finals. Sucks for them. They were able to take that title there. The Hokages over on their own.
The Hokages.
In their own right. The little intro video as well. Rebel looked super cool with that shadow clone.
Dude, that was the sickest
I really like that.
intro I've ever seen.
That was hot. That was hot.
Put that on the highlight reel.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Get it done. Enigma Galaxy going to be chasing down the truck, getting those supplies. Although, look like they're going to be doing so with very minimal weaponry there. Haven't been able to quite disable it before it leaves the city. Where's the weaponry? Come on. Shooting it as it leaves. They're dropping 1 or 2 more crates out. Finally, it's on fire. So a little bit slow to get this one dealt with. But finally, they find some weaponry they can use to pepper the back of the doors there. And they draw it too close. So they'll be able to leverage that. Zones still looking very dramatic on the southwest side. Nobody quite on the road, but 4 Thrives went to Primorsk very, very early, Jukes, which means that they will have the pick of the litter when it comes to taking a position into this next zone.
I like
the question for me is where do you go at this point when you know that everybody's going to be flooding out this way? For me, I feel like potentially some of the compounds to the east mouth of Quarry could be quite good, but transitions away from there can be difficult as well. And the reason I'm going for that is because I feel like I would want something that's at least on the south side, just in case it goes to military.
Yeah, I would take the hill above Ferry Pier. I think that's the strongest spot.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're right. That zone could, for some reason, it's been crazy today, right? It could yoink all the way back to Millie, and you have at least a decent spot to be able to get there pretty quickly. And then plus, if the zone does go in almost any other direction, you have that sight line of that field that's right above you. So you can get a lot of work done from that position. I wonder which team is going to decide to take it early. 4 Thrives heading into Primorsk so quickly though.
जी तो आज का 5वां मैच भाई तो भी स्टार्ट हो चुका है वीलो इरेंगल एक बार फिर से इसके बाद भी एक इरेंगल होगा उसके बाद 2 माइनर मार होगा
some boats and make a crazy rotation on in. So it's not a bad idea.
Enigma Galaxy getting out nice and quickly. Nongshim Red Force as well, moving in a little bit further south of this, and they will start to line the hills just north of Ferry Pier. It's like they are the first 2 teams to really make that break for it outside of their looting phase. And I'm expecting a response from 4 Thrives fairly soon, but so far hasn't really come on through. Ralph able to get a lot more scouting done than maybe he would have expected to. But they managed to sequester themselves nice and deep in towards this zone, which is, I think, going to play very well for them, taking the position just northwest of Ferry Pier.
For sure. I mean, this is still a very, very close game. I mean, second place on down, one good game, we could definitely see a team even like all the way down 12th place jump up really quickly. E-Arena have started to create a little bit of a point differential, though, in between first and second. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's a little one. It's a pretty big one here. It's 18 points between first and second. So E-Arena are going to continue to want to press that on there. At a certain point, though, John, especially if we see E-Arena like pop off in this game, I think the lobby is going to have to start taking notice of it, right? If you want to be able to slow them down from setting that point threshold so high, I think if you realize it's E-Arena by getting at least 1 elimination on them, you may want to put a little extra urgency on trying to take them out.
Maybe, but then again, if you do that, you could be sacrificing your own point scoring potential.
True.
And like if E-Arena are that far ahead already to be into the situation where it might be an idea to do that, I feel like you're already running into the situation where you're just trying to get up.
Okay, अभी तक कोई एलिमिनेशन नहीं हुआ है इस मैच में फिलहाल तो 6-7 मिनट हो चुके हैं फिलहाल.
Something like that, go for those jumps.
जोन सिरिंग भी अभी है भाई.
Maybe if you're at the bottom of the tables you could, but even then, laddering up is still very, very valuable. So I feel like, unless it's like first place is on 150, second place is on 120, third place is on like 90, even lower, that maybe then the second place team could try and hot drop and go for something like that if you have that sort of advantage with not too many more games left to play. But outside of that very specific scenario, I feel
okay, godlike के 2 प्लेयर हैं और आगे by the way प्लेयर 3 है और I think स्पॉट कर लिया है और आगे प्लेयर ने मेरे ख्याल से okay, godlike एक प्लेयर मानने पीछे है by the way और आगे प्लेयर I think स्पॉट कर लिया godlike के प्लेयर को. जी हाँ, स्पॉट कर लिया गया है और godlike फाइट लेती हुई और यही करनी है ब्रो. फाइट लेते हुए एक और आगे प्ले डाउन, 2 और आगे प्ले डाउन है. गॉडलाइक के भी एक प्ले डाउन हुए, कोई बात नहीं. और आगे एक और प्ले डाउन हुए, 3 और आगे प्ले डाउन हुए. लेट्स गो गाइस, एक प्लेयर मतलब और आगे बचे हुए. गॉडलाइक के भी 2 प्ले डाउन हुए, कोई बात नहीं. 3 ओवरऑल में प्लेयर बाय द वे डाउन है फिलहाल। एक प्लेयर पे वो भी आता हुआ और मेरे ख्याल से रश करना चाहिए यहाँ पे एक प्लेयर को, तो या तो मेरे ख्याल से दोनों को रश करना चाहिए, नहीं तो ओके। और आगे एक प्लेयर बाय द वे बचे हुए, रिवाइव नहीं होनी चाहिए। ओके, एक एलिमिनेशन गॉडलाइक का हो चुका है और एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है भाई। तो गॉडलाइक ने भी एक प्लेयर अपना खोया, लेकिन कोई बात नहीं गाइस, और यही मैं बोल रहा था, अटैक करना है गाइस, लेट्स गो। और टियान और अब गॉडलाइक के बीच में हो रहा है फाइट, जिसमें कि यहाँ पे टियान और गॉडलाइक के बीच में फाइट होता हुआ। ओके, मानने यहाँ पे डाउन हो चुके, कोई बात नहीं। 2 प्लेयर गॉडलाइक के फिलहाल अभी बचे हुए, 2 या 3 प्लेयर बचे हुए। ओके, so हमें आते हुए बाय द वे
wanted to maybe think about it, but they were too spread out on the western side, and so couldn't get involved. But Tiamba were there.
Okay, गॉडलाइक के प्लेयर 2 यहाँ हैं। टियान के बाद अभी 4 प्लेयर फिलहाल अभी जिंदा है।
Shifted back over towards the bridge. Very Pier is a hotbed right now. 4 drives, maybe burying the brunt.
I think अब रिवाइव कर सकते हैं अभी या फिर नहीं कर सकते, पता नहीं। रिकॉल कब तक होती है? अभी रहती है रिकॉल, आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल से। अगर रिकॉल रहती है तब तो रिवाइव करना चाहिए, क्योंकि पहले सर्कल में तो रिकॉल रहती है। पहले सर्कल में तो रिकॉल रहती है आई थिंक। ओके, 40 वर्सेस यहाँ पे फ्यूरी आई थिंक हो रहा है क्या? हाँ, फ्यूरी वर्सेस 40 हो रहा है। रिकॉल कर सकते हैं क्या गॉडलाइक के प्लेयर? पहले सर्कल में रहती है रिकॉल आई थिंक।
Sunglasses out. Get your tanning oil on. It's gonna get toasty very, very quickly.
Okay.
Crunch on in. Maybe a little bit of calm though before this storm.
Oh, I don't know. It's feeling pretty disturbed right now because everybody wants those central positions. But you're right. It does look like the teams are able to secure most of them for now.
OG भी फाइट लेती हुई फिलहाल। NS वर्सेस OG के बीच में फाइट हो रहा है। वो नेड गया भाई। वो एक और नेड गया। OG के एक प्लेयर बाय द वे डाउन हुए।
Nongshim, are they going to press this? Looks like they are. Hyunbin up close and personal. It's Nongshim Red Force versus OG, and OG
और NS के बीच में 2 प्लेयर OG के डाउन हो चुके हैं नेट से।
He's got to find a way to buy himself some time for his team.
Okay, well, I mean, a good answer over towards Nongshim. That knock over there is going well. In the meantime, Ulf lost a player. I believe that went over to 4 Thrives over in Ferry Pier as well. Zaru gets back to those reses.
He's going to get him.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Power.
Godlike.
Oh, S-Power with the double.
Oh, Godlike.
Godlike from the other side saying, we need
some eliminations.
Just a cop left for Orangutan.
भाई दोनों इंडियन टीम आपस में लड़ रही है भाई।
My work here is done. Peace out.
See ya.
Sends back.
6 प्लेयर्स बाद में गॉडलाइक ने निकाल लिए फिलहाल अभी के लिए।
Diminish the power of the position that Salme was holding, allow Tiamba in for the north. They needed to reinforce that, so the fact that they're able to extract points and let loose some of the pressure from that south side as well is excellent stuff. So he knows he needs to be prompt on that. The circle goes back over to the mainland, so we are confirming over there. Tiamba try and leapfrog that godlike
S2G बहुत अभी separate है, बहुत अलग है अभी।
Ida as well trying to send in from this northeast side.
Get S2G over there by the blues. They're going to have to come down that hill and find a way in. The thing is that it's all open field there. You got Vitality holding the north side of the circle. You got one of the players from S2G. That's Kamikaze. He's going to be trying to get some angles here to see if he can find at least a next position for his team. But Ferry Pier.
Okay, 2 player OG के 2 godlike के बाद अब।
Take a look at the replay here. Huzaifa. Oh, nice shot.
Okay, ULF के player को down किया गया 4.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
a complete broadside there. No way hiding from that one. In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force trying to hold down the bunker.
Okay, idea पे भी attack किया जा रहा है।
Will not like what he smells. A little bit.
Idea और NS के बीच में fight हो रही है फिलहाल तो।
And Emre does get flushed away. Nongshim Red Force hold their position on the east side of that ridge line that sits wooded and covered They're playing on those bunkers as well. A really nice defensible position. Look at the teams out on the east side as well. You've got Ida, Flash, Aurora, Furia, all of them sort of holding each other at bay right now. So Nongshim Red Force feeling very safe and secure for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, next 3 minutes is going to work out for them, but then
Okay, VIT plus S2G fight होने वाली है लग रही है.
Start to press very, very close.
Vitality और S2G के बीच में fight होने वाली है.
And they're going to be on the move here, possibly trying to avoid this fight, get in a more solidified position in this circle. Kamikaze just keeping an eye on the side of Vitality for now. This is still super early here, folks. This is only stage 3, but we've just seen so much action through the chaos of that first circle placement.
Yeah, it was really hard to navigate towards it. A lot of damage inflicted, and yeah, with Aura going down as well. We're down to 15 teams. A lot of raggedy squads on the cards as well, which makes things nasty for plenty of our players. Godlike and Orangutan, though, are both in central positions as their duos, which is kind of their saving grace in terms of survivability. They'll try and keep things going. E-Arena on the west side, holding around that quarry. They've left Schweppes actually onto the Primorsk Hill on the northeast side of it to be that off angle for them. But they're kind of keeping out of it for now. They're kind of chilling on the west side. So for E-Arena, we're still waiting to see what they've got for the rest of this game because their path forwards may lead them to clash with Vitality or with Godlike.
You can see Schweppes, though, from E-Arena. He's all the way down in Ferry Pier, just getting some sight lines, getting some intel for the rest of his squad. Got to be careful not to get too close, though, to the side of Enigma Galaxy. Now you see Aurora Gaming. Let's see where this next zone's going to go, though. That's when the fight's really going to get started here. Zeol is going to eat a little bit of blue damage. He's keeping an eye on Flash. Uh-oh, yeah, he's trying to play this quietly, hoping that he comes in this direction, but instead goes in the opposite. Next circle does pop on over, and it is heavily to the east side.
I mean, this is good for Nongshim Red Force, right? On their position. We were talking about that before. The fights on the east side will need to conclude. Tiamba sending in a might challenge on Orangutan's position, but it's fairly open on those hills. It's going to be very difficult to hold. Fortunately, there's not too many full squads around them. Nongshim spot a player from Flash as they try to move in. Aurora taking a chunk out too. Tiamba now looking to overwhelm, but they've lost a player on the roll-up. Orangutan try to hold it down.
OG by the way, eliminate हो गए किन्ने team फिलहाल.
Tiamba, who are fielding shallow now.
Kian के भी 2 player down है by the way.
Leaving Milu out.
Revive किया जा रहा है.
He is not needing to get him back up.
Down to a duo. Eagle trying to get that first aid off. He's going to be able to get that for sure. On over to Ferry Pier. Enigma Galaxy are set up. They're going to have to push into this next zone as well. Circle is closing. This is stage 4. The blue zone really starts to put in its damage here. Let's see what Enigma Galaxy decides to do. It looks like they're going to be most likely prioritizing the shoreline. That's why they're applying so much pressure to the side of Al-Ula. Quick ends up catching. Yeah, that's 4th Rise with Zypha out. And yeah, it looks like Al-Ula are going to be holding this very pure position. We've seen them do this before. S2G were able to bad beat them in that spot using those hovercrafts in a game not too long ago. So let's see if Al-Ula can turn things around.
Try and hold that west side. I mean, for 4th Rise, a little bit of a lost opportunity there. Remember how early they were in Primorsk, Dukes, and they didn't manage to transition fast enough. Both Enigma Galaxy and Nongshim Red Force both got ahead of them in terms of getting to the positions in that area. It's a little bit unfortunate. I'm not super happy about it. And now they find themselves in the middle of a fight that may not go their way with 3 full 4 squads. Sorry. Ulf only have 3 players, so with 3 squads surrounding them. Luckily, they are in the zone, so they aren't super under the impetus to move, but they may want to.
Yeah, now we're looking over at E-Arena, the top squad right now. So many points on the board. Nice point gap. Looking to make that and push it even further beyond. Team Vitality looking to make some noise on the north side. Everybody just trying to find their spot in this next circle because this next zone's most likely going to push north. And if it does, that is wide open field, which S2G have a decent position in. Tianba and Nongshim Red Force are pretty locked down. But these teams on the south side of Ferry Pier, honestly, should already trying to figure out what is the path they're going to take into this next circle. And the only way they're most likely going to get there is through some insane shots.
Okay, Godlike और Arena के बीच में फाइट हो चुकी है. 2 प्लेयर है Godlike के पास. Arena के यहाँ पे 3 प्लेयर है, बट एक को बहुत डैमेज दिया गया.
In this game, for the time being,
यहाँ पे नेड किया जा रहा है Arena की तरफ से.
waiting,
गॉड लाइन की तरफ से भी यहाँ पे नेड किया जा रहा है। क्या डाउन होंगे? जी हाँ, एक डाउन होंगे भाई, और फिनिश भी किया जाएगा। नाइस। और यहाँ पे अरीना की तरफ से नेड किया गया है एस्पायर पे, बट एस्पायर सर्वाइव करते हुए। तो 2v2 हो चुका है क्योंकि एक फिनिश हो चुका है। अरीना की तरफ से एक बार फिर से नेड किया जा रहा है। ओके, एक और नेड।
Yep, huge news, and God like now knows exactly who they're fighting and the importance of them taking this out. Next zone does go on over, huge zone here for Tiamba, and Nongshim Red Force. That fairy Pier heel is just so strong.
I kind of like this for Ulf as well. I mean, it may be a struggle to fend.
ओके, अरीना के 3 प्लेयर है by the way, एक राउंड में तो एक और आ गए थे by the way.
They have a fairly isolated area, survive quite deep into this match, but the transition over to the hills can be very, very difficult, especially with two teams lining you up side to side. Vitality gonna have to make a break for it now as they have to roll out from the north edge.
And they're gonna have to cross a lot of open field here. This is what I was talking about. This zone is not very kind to those teams that were playing on the edge position. Yeah, Team Vitality, you're just kind of.
Okay, फिर से नेड किया जा रहा है।
Hopefully have these teams in the middle.
अरीना की तरफ से नेड पे नेड किया जा रहा है by the way.
Free rotation onto this next circle. Not too many eyes looking at them, but it's gonna be a tough rotation. Yeah, Razy is gonna be driving right back. Say, guys, it's pretty jam-packed down there.
No bueno. It is no bueno.
ओके, यहाँ पे नेड यहाँ पे किया जा रहा है गॉड लाइक और अरीना के तरफ से, और एक प्लेयर रश करते हुए बाय द वे। अरीना एक प्लेयर रश कर दिए बाय द वे, और एस्पायर ने थोड़ा डैमेज दिया। ओ, यहाँ पे नेड आ चुके। ओके, अरीना के भी एक प्लेयर डाउन हुए हैं फिलहाल, और बट एस्पायर यहाँ पे डाउन है, तो उस प्लेयर को रिवाइव किया जाएगा। यहाँ पे गॉड लाइक
shotgun and Mormon has to back up.
S-Power had that. It was such a fortunate nade there. Samway has the right-hand priority. That's what he needs.
Yeah, finish. Okay. Oh, no. Nice try.
To get the nice one.
7 finishes निकाला गया by the way, God like it. 2 डाउन किया गया, लेकिन दोनों by the way रिवाइव हो जाएंगे। एक ऑलरेडी हो चुके, एक और हो ही जाएंगे।
Nongshim Red Force out to the east as Vitality have taken a knock out to their western point. They are still 4 players alive, but E-Arena are rolling out now. They can turn their attention that way. Steps onto a landmine, blasts his leg sideways, and down goes another Vitality player. They are getting torn apart as E-Arena descend as well, sending a forward position.
S2G, VIT, Tian, by the way, यहाँ पे फाइट हो रही है। IDA भी है यहीं पे।
Both on in the fight, taking huge swipes at this.
Oh, भाई सब ये क्या हो रहा है?
May not have enough to hold everything off, but they will find the final blow towards Ida.
It's an open field battle here as teams are starting to crowd on in.
Okay, revive यहाँ पे देते हुए Tian.
Absolute battlefield, tons of nades going down, and down goes Vitality. S2G.
Vitality finish हो गई guys, eliminate हो गई है by the way.
2 eliminations to their name so far. And with that fight, all that commotion happening, it allowed them to be able to get into position in this circle. Great timing.
Tian फिर भी survive कर गई है, down हुई थी Tian की भी.
We're just gonna push up and hit some crazy shots and put everybody on notice.
2 teams crashing on.
Okay, Arena की टीम यहाँ आ गई है by the way.
Of a smoke screen for E-Arena to be able to move up nicely. Despite not having one of their players with them, they are now on 5 eliminations. They've pushed past the 90-point barrier now, Jukes.
Wow.
It is a great result so far. 10 teams remain, but they're on the outside of the circle, and Enigma Galaxy are going to cause problems. They've seen what's happened, and they think, no. This can't stand. No. Order. And they
Arena के एक player down हुए फिलहाल, 2 player बचे हुए Arena के.
Stop that. Said
उसे भी revive किया जाएगा, ये देखने वाली बात है.
The whole lobby needs to start really worrying about E-Arena here because the White Rabbits are starting to run away with this thing. Remember, $500,000 for first place, $250,000 for second. That's a big difference here, folks. Now we're gonna see Enigma Galaxy. They got that knock. E-Arena are outside of the circle. Tiamba will be gatekeeping, and this is kind of a perfect situation for the lobby. Nongshim Red Force, though, gets super blessed in the zone. They are dead center. It is really their game to take advantage of here.
And they're really hoping that E-Arena go down fairly soon, because then they can put a massive dent in the gap between these 2 squads. E-Arena, though, currently focused on Tianba and Nigma Galaxy. Nigma Galaxy find another knock, sending it over towards Schweppes, and I don't think this is going to be resible. Mormon and Turney K now having to keep it together. On top of the 5 elims they found already, and Lost might have an angle on it as well, suppressing that angle, but Mormon goes down, can't hold face against Nigma Galaxy, and no knocks are sent their way either. Mormon gets flushed away as Schweppes does get back up. Meanwhile, over in Ferry Pier, Aurora, Alola, and Ulf all coming into the fight. It is getting chaotic down there. It's getting messy as well. Turney K the last to stand for E-Arena, and then Nigma Galaxy have to push into Tianba. And nobody's happy in Ferry Pier either. It has been non-stop action for the last 7 minutes.
Fight after fight after fight. These zones making things so difficult. And yes, Nigma Galaxy are now on the push. They want to be able to.
Okay, ULF is by the way eliminate हो चुकी है. अरीना के भी एक प्लेयर बचा है, लेकिन अरीना by the way बहुत आगे है दूसरी टीम की कंपैरिजन में. 90 पॉइंट्स है by the way. तो अरीना भाई अभी अरीना एलिमिनेट हो गई है, क्योंकि अरीना बहुत आगे है भाई. 90 पॉइंट है.
They are constantly moving that needle further and further and further.
Absolutely, but for Nongshim Red Force,
Godlike Ozzy,
beautiful position. They were able to do a lot.
Godlike अब थोड़ा आगे तो आएगी. 7 पॉइंट एलिमिनेशन, कम से कम 7 पॉइंट एलिमिनेशन के मिलेंगे. प्लस जो सर्वाइवल है उसके भी पॉइंट्स मिलने वाले हैं. तब आगे आएगी Godlike थोड़ा.
They can close it down because they are in the driver's seat here and they need to keep control.
All these teams need it. They all need this chicken dinner and all the eliminations. And that's beauty of God. Nongshim Red Force. Man, XCY with 5 eliminations all by himself. Gonna have to make a play here. He's got the shotgun, but the suppressive fire from too many angles, making things difficult. Nongshim Red Force are still here though, but here's Bose from Team Flash. This nade could be big. Can he thread the needle through the window?
No.
Oh, so close.
Not quite on the
first. NSFL by the way nade पे nade की जा रही है भाई.
Don't think that one. No way. I didn't think that one went through, but it did. And down goes this Nongshim push. They flexed out from their position, Jukes. It felt like maybe it was the right time to do it, but they underestimated the chaos on the eastern side, and they've let slip the strongest spot in the circle, and they will leave it all up to So Easy. A real big opportunity for them to put a massive jump up on the tables. They can still do very well from this location, but they have really had the juice squeezed out of them.
You're so right. I mean, they put some good, solid points on the board, but it could have been a whole lot more, that's for sure. Let's see who can take advantage of these missteps. Nigma Galaxy are still here, 4 eliminations. Aurora with 5. Big win here could put them all the way up to 2nd place very, very easily. Tianba right there close as well. Team Flash, yeah, with that last player, Bose, just trying to soak up anything for his team at this point. Next circle does go, and up, and it is going to be down to that southwestern side. Nigma Galaxy barely have a position here, but this is all open field. It's time to hit the deck and hit some shots. Satan getting peppered from both sides. He goes down.
He was waiting to take a shot over towards Tianba as well, but S2G.
Okay, S2G के भी play down. NGX के भी play down.
Really, Nigma Galaxy trying to step up. S2G trying to move in, but nobody can.
2 play down हो चुके हैं भाई. वो तीसरा भी down हो चुका है. Tian के भाई 2 play down है. Tian बार-बार survive कर दे रही, बार-बार revive दे रही है Tian. डाउन होने के बाद भी इस बार क्या दे पाएगी? ओ नहीं, टियान एलिमिनेट हो गई है बाय द वे. NGX बाय द वे रिवाइव दी थी अपने एक प्लेयर को, लेकिन नहीं दे पाई वो भी डाउन. और एक प्लेयर अब NGX के केवल बढ़ गया. ऑरा के बाय द वे 4 प्लेयर है. ऑरा 7 किल ऑरा ने निकाल लिया बाय द वे.
Looking to shut things down, getting up close and personal, but it's
7 किल NS ने निकाले, 7 किल S2G ने निकाले, 7 किल ऑरा ने निकाले, 7 किल Godlike जो कि ऑलरेडी एलिमिनेट हो गई. ओके, ऑरा और NGX एलिमिनेट हो गई है, और ऑरा आई थिंक अब आगे बढ़ गई है एलिमिनेशन में भी. केवल तीन टीम जो है वो बाय द वे अभी बची हुई है.
Given the chaos that just unfolded at their feet, remember Tianba were there.
केवल 3 टीम बाय द वे बची हुई है, NS, S2G और सबसे ज्यादा परसेंट भाई तीनों का लगभग बराबरी ही है. 9 प्लेयर बाय द वे बचे हुए हैं. ऑरा के 4 प्लेयर है, S2G के 4 प्लेयर है, NS के 1 प्लेयर है. तो NS अभी फाइट ना ही ले, उन दोनों में फाइट होने दे. और क्या
huge game honestly. It's so easy
NS के 1 ही प्लेयर है बाय द वे. लेट्स गो.
But you can see S2G, they get the full reset.
भाई S2G पिछले बार भी कोई निकाली थी.
Welding gun as well, so they're going to have their vehicle all set up. As far as when it comes to zone control, though, it's
और किससे 2 बार लगातार एलिमिनेट हुई है.
Entire zone locked down. But the thing was, they had this advantage before against the team of Nongshim Red Force.
S2G versus Aura.
This is their chance to make up for it.
हाँ NS अभी है, लेकिन NS इसमें भी है, लेकिन NS के एक ही प्लेयर है मतलब. S2G के एक प्लेयर बाय द वे डाउन हो चुके हैं. ओ NS के ही प्लेयर ने बाय द वे डाउन किया भाई. नहीं करना था मेरे ख्याल से फाइट. थर्ड पार्टी करना था. लेकिन किल निकाला गया है बाय द वे. एक प्लेयर S2G के डाउन किए गए गाइस. ओके ऑरा पे बाय द वे नेड किया जा रहा है. ओ बट सिंगल प्लेयर है और अब स्पॉट कर लिया गया है NS के सिंगल प्लेयर को. S2G ऑरा को फाइट लेने दिया जाता. ओ
That was a prediction nade, though. He knew that he was going to run up, so he threw it ahead of him and got some really good damage onto So Easy. But he is able to get away from
S2G third party कर सकती है आराम से.
Here he goes, though. Here comes some more util from the side of Aurora.
They've lost him.
They're spending a lot of time focusing on this one player of Nongshim Red Force who is refusing to go down.
S2G भी फाइट भी नहीं ले रही है. वेट कर रही है S2G भी.
S2G not really having an impact so far. The zone's starting to close all the way, and So Easy just about.
NS by the way हल्का सा बचा हुआ है. ओके NS यहाँ पे खत्म. वहाँ पे नहीं करना था फायर. नहीं करना था. S2G और ऑरा के बीच में फाइट होना था. थर्ड पार्टी कर सकती थी. और यहाँ पे चिकन डिनर के लिए बढ़ती है और यहाँ पे कर दी है. Aurora ने by the way चिकन डिनर कर लिया है by the way.
And it's about time. Aurora clutching it up. They wanted that chicken dinner earlier, weren't able to get it. But in this one, they get that secure. So Aurora showing
chicken dinner by the way Aurora ने कर लिया guys.
Consistency when it comes to Aaron Gale here in day number 2. We still got one more left to go, and they are looking strong.
Absolutely. Great stuff. It's exactly what you want to see. It's been said of Aurora before, right? That they're a team that needs to ramp up in pace. They do need a little bit of time to get into gear. And maybe that's what we're seeing here, right? Maybe they are going to be able to find that ramp up over the next, well, the rest of the matches today and in the games tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's going to be right on time, too, because E-Arena have been extremely consistent today. Even when they went out now, they still put up 5 points on the board. So they're the biggest threat in this lobby here. Because remember, folks, at the end of these next 3 matches, that smash point threshold is going to be set tomorrow. Once those 10 points are crossed, the next chicken dinner, that is it. We will crown some champions. So E-Arena's job today is to just set that threshold as high as possible, and they're doing a dang good job of it.
They are, but even in that match, like a lot of the teams towards the top side of those tables were able to put up some decent games.
That's
right?
True.
You had Ulf, who was staying in fairly late, S2G fairly deep into that one, Nongshim Red Force. Maybe could have got a little bit deeper if they hadn't gone for that push-up, but still, getting into 3rd place into that match was really, really great for them. A lot of teams putting up some big numbers, and sure, they put up 5, and I do praise teams for being able to do that sort of thing, but everybody is on the hunt. Everybody's hounding them down. So for Arena, it might be okay, but you can't have a tortoise and a hare situation. You need to keep the pace up. You cannot let sleeping dogs lie, because they will find you and they will take you out of that top spot. It's all to play for. One more Erangel today as before we move on to our final set of Miramars. Don't go anywhere.
ये छठा है सर यार. 5वां ही था ना? या फिर छठा था क्या? छठा था तो आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल से फिर 2 मैच के म्यांमार का बचा हुआ है. मेरे ख्याल से ये 5वां ही था आई थिंक. देखते हैं.
them perform on the biggest stage, I think it's a pride, a moment of pride and honor for us.
The team is like a very celebrated team in India. Like, it has a huge fan base, amazing lineups, amazing achievements.
Godlike got that nice nade off the top side from Adamino. It'll be a great start for Godlike Dukes. Get some early energy into today's games. Oh, boy!
Wow, throwing that nade up the stairs, catching him off. That's Necessari's holding those angles. He's doing those tight peaks. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease!
The most memorable event has to be the map of Rondo, where Godlike came up with 30 points. As everyone, used to call our region as not so aggressive or passive, and a lot of things like that. But again, Godlike Esports proved with their firepower and with their composure that we do have that firepower. We can also go for, big games.
Us, it was like a very unexpected turns of event that we qualified for grand finals. Like, I don't think anyone in India or anyone in our team must have imagined us playing our first international tournament and straight up qualifying for grand finals. So when that moment happened, we all went crazy. Like, all of us, the Godlike family, everyone in India, we were all celebrating, and honestly, I will never forget that.
The fans over here, the love for the game, it has been amazing, and we are having a great time over here till now, yeah. I always had this dream to go and, visit the Eiffel Tower, and it was a dream come true moment for me.
Aurora getting a chicken dinner, but before we break down that match, we wanted to get a club championship update, and I'm joined by none other than Glitter Explosion. As some of you guys know her as Senorita Glitter. Tell us what's going on with the club championship.
All right, we're just going to do a quick update here because we've got some seriously cool stuff going on in chess. Obviously, grand finals here today. Third, fourth decider match also happened. That was between two Falcons players for third and fourth place, so it didn't matter who won. They were getting those third place points regardless, but now the finals are going on between Magnus Carlsen and Dennis Lazovic, which means AGAL have guaranteed themselves second place bare minimum. Liquid could get the win if Magnus is able to do it, but either way, that keeps AGL at the top of our leaderboard by 500 points. Now, it looks big right now, but over at the STC Arena, Falcons are still in the discussion. They're in quarterfinals. They will be facing off against Twisted Minds later on today, and if they're able to win, that's going to be another chunk of points in the favor of Falcons. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
It will be interesting, especially because Aurora just got a win here. They want to be in the top 8 because they want to get those points as well. Before I let you go, any team that has surprised you today?
I'm not going to lie, I'm loving the bounce back right now out of Godlike. They put some serious elims up on the board, so shout out to Godlike.
Hey, right on. Thanks. Actually, spot on. Thanks, Glitter. You can go back and just keep on looking for updates, okay? I want to see what else is going on with the other club championships, and I want to see what else is going on here at PMWC at EWC 26, because some of these squads, especially Aurora, Max, getting that chicken dinner. But before we even do that, let's talk about the PMWC Lucky Spin. Available now. You can check out the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, and also that Alien Fusion Grossa, which I want. And I'm still trying to get, and I'm going to continue to try to get. So make sure you guys check that out. This was co-created with PvP creator Nana. Make sure you log into PUBG Mobile, get that lucky spin before it goes away to get your PMWC swag. But now, Aurora, yes, that's right. Look at this man. This man is absolutely ready. He's been cheering for Aurora for the longest time. But Max, we got a chance to see them play that so well too, and just pretty much like a boa constrictor, just squishing everybody in.
Oh, yeah, like a snake. Well, they weren't really snaking in, actually. They were just dominating and eliminating everyone. But, finally, no throw from Aurora and Eptura.
Yeah.
They made it. They saw it through until the very end, and we actually see Ziola. I said he was very impressive. I wanted to see more from Reefus and Doc. We finally got it. Reefus 4 eliminations, Doc 3. But in particular, what's very important is that before going onto that ridgeline north of that road sign, Ipchira, they eliminate every single team down there, get rid of all the stragglers. You had Ulf, you had Al Ula, you had Fourth Thrives, and you also had Nongshim Red Force at one point. Get rid of all of those players before playing that ridge. That was so well executed by the boys.
Yeah, it was really nice to see that, and also learning from the Rondo, right, where they just played it way too slowly. Yes, they had more terrain to work with in this game, but you could see the momentum. They just went from 0 to 100. Once they had gotten cleared everybody, gotten all of those eliminations, they moved in and tried to corral S2G. S2G let that happen just a little bit. I would much preferred a better fight from them for sure. But for Aurora, that was much better, much more what we're used to seeing from them. This is a herding team. They control teams. Teams don't control them. And right now, this was them controlling teams.
I literally wrote down on my notes that, oh, S2G, they looked really good at that sort of northern side. This should be a nice win from them. They got the hovercraft,
exactly.
You know. But no, I have to agree, Aurora played that incredibly well, and they were able to take that time to make that spacing. But also, did you notice like Nongshim so easy causing a little bit of chaos as the solo player between these two full teams? I mean, that was kind of crazy to see as well. I was looking at S2G obviously to have that, you know, they were denying the flank from Flash coming around to them. They had a nice 2-2 split on that north side. Soul Gang with the hovercraft, we're going to bring that up again, but yeah, a little bit rough for them. So the way that Aurora were able to calculate that with a little bit of annoyance from Nongshim so easy, great play.
Talking about Nongshim, they were able to put up some good points as well here in this match. 13 points as well with S2G, 13 points. Max, which one are you looking at? I see you ready to talk.
Yeah, because Nongshim Red Force, sure, they gave themselves 13 points. It's elimination.
Okay, Godlike को 7 point मिला, elimination को placement नहीं मिला. चलो कोई ना. 7 point मिला ना, वो kill निकाले तो 7 point मिला.
Which is not Longwood. They're not even on the dip. On
OG को बाद में कितना point मिला इसमें? नहीं मिला point. क्योंकि elimination नहीं निकला.
Okay, great. Nongshim Red Force maintain the
placement point भी नहीं निकला.
They fully crashed the shed, and then Flash are like, what the hell are you doing?
Placement point by the way top.
And swipe the entirety of Nongshim Red Force. If they just held their position, they would be where So Easy was. You said So Easy was trolling. If you had a full team, they would be giga trolling. But I feel like, yeah, Nongshim Red Force, sometimes they get great games, and sometimes they do some of the biggest fumbles in a tournament. It hurts. It really does.
I think it's a great example of something that happens at every level, as we're seeing here, right? Where you get that you get tempted to actually full send into a position, but you've got to really think about why that team that you're fighting fell down so easily. Generally, it's because the position is bad for one reason or another. It's very constricted there. There's a little ridge around that shack. It's very, very nadeable. Lots of areas to bounce that utility off. So if you're going to push something like that, or if you're fighting against, hang on a second. If you're fighting against them, right, you don't push that, because then you yourself get naded as well. It's very nadeable for a reason.
Yeah, and that match was a perfect example of what can happen whenever you end up just catching up even more to that first place. E-Arena ended up getting 5 points. You can see Aurora Gaming just jump up to that second place with 81 points. What was a 1 point and 18 point gap to that second place has just now closed up to 9 points.
I'm so happy to see it, because we saw throughout the entirety of today, right, there were a podium team at the very start, slipping. They were in 8th position before this game. Now with that chicken dinner rocketing right at the very top here, just behind E-Arena with their 81 points. Literally the only team single-digit points away from our current pack leader of E-Arena. But the thing is, very flash in the pan, right, Niptura? We need to see more consistency, and especially not throwing games when you know you can get those wins.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. We have one more Erangel and then 2 Miramars as well. Aurora tend to do quite well on Miramar typically, so we'll see how that goes. Again, yeah, they can be very hot, very cold, so it is just down to game by game what they're gonna do. But we're looking at the second page here. Flash and Hora, 48 points each. They are looking tied right now, but there's quite a bit of a gap between them and 4th Thrive, so even further down the leaderboard, we're starting to see those gaps emerge.
Yeah, Lace, for some of these teams here in the second page, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on them, because at one point we're going to have to start cutting them out, because that point gap is just too much. And keep in mind, going into tomorrow, that smash roll is going to be at play, and it's going to be plus 10 points of whatever first place ends up with.
Yeah, and it's strange because, like, I know me and Neptura were having a look at Godlike, right? And they're making such calculated and well played. And then I even sort of said, God damn, they're so strong as just a little duo. Why don't they just kind of like go in that little map and do their thing? But it's just unfortunate, you know, they were getting like 7 elims in that spot, but just not making it any further. And I sort of touched about that on the shared studio on the couch. It was like they're getting themselves in these great, like, close range fights, capitalizing on it, winning it. And then, like you were saying, moving back in and not, like, the other teams are sort of circulating because they're doing that too late in the game. But I do feel we've seen it before. Aurora just did it. They can just have this great game, and that will push them up a lot further because they're getting the elims. They'll be able to do it.
And they definitely need it, especially where they are currently. We've been praising them in regards to the performance that they have had today, but we need to see a lot more out of Godlike because they are truly just so far away from the first place. And at the end of the day, you want to be in first place. That's what they're going to be hunting down. By the way, special shout out earlier on to Hot Jukes and John for casting those first 5 games. But now it's time for the main show. Yeah, it's okay. I still got you, baby. For Blank and Jackie Blank, you got me. Come on, man.
Oh, mate. All right, that's one hell of a setup. Thank you, Seven. I appreciate it. Some great points being raised there. Indeed. There's some good breakdown. Got all the fans, of course, enjoying themselves. Saw it over there. They had the I Love Max Man sign. We don't have one of those, unfortunately.
We've got love for snacks right now, which is cool. We've also got OG and Godlike behind, which is always good to see too. The support is unreal inside the arena at the moment, as per usual. It has been awesome all the way throughout the tournament, but we do have a lot of people with us this time. So we're going to get loud. We're going to get a little bit crazy with it because I imagine to finish off the day, it's been a long day. All right, we might have some mad circles to finish things off.
Yeah, do you reckon?
I reckon.
Should we make sure there's still some good energy left in the crowd? But
we could try. Yeah.
Right then, Paris. A few games left to go today. Let's see how much energy we've got. Let's make some noise in the building. All right, that's what I wanted. Proud of you, Paris. You've been killing it here at PMWC, and we'll keep the commentary flowing as the games go on. We can lock in as we start to get towards the end of the day. It's been enticing, Blank. Some good quality PUBG Mobile coming out, but I'm excited to see if there's any more twists in the narrative.
That's what we're looking for. We're looking for some twists, some turns at the end of the day, some mysteries yet unsolved. As we do get back into the thick of it, we're going to be going to Erangel one last time before we head towards our final 2 Miramars to close out this mega day of PUBG Mobile. Again, like we said, Paris has been fantastic. You guys have been fantastic. The fact that you've been with us this entire time, supporting the teams the entire time. We've heard the drums, we've heard the excitement. The drums better come back though. I'll be sad if the drums aren't in the crowd.
They're ramping, mate. They're
ramping. They're getting ready to go. Doing a couple of paradiddles here and there. We got Ralph on screen explaining to his team that they're definitely not getting hot dropped over towards Pachinki. It's not happening again. Eda's had a good game now. They're like, maybe we were the problem.
Yeah, maybe we don't do that anymore. Which honestly, I think it's a fair shout. I think, you know what, 4 different members of the talent team spoke to Ralph about that yesterday. We were kind of making sure we can get that one across as many ways as possible. It seems like the message has been sent out.
Yeah, it was like, it was coded through Ralph for Eda.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that? Ralph was very pleasant about it. He was like, I don't think they should be doing it.
We keep getting points.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I think we got about 12 elims off the back of it, which is kind of sick, honestly. It's a good amount of points. We do get our plane path down from the south side all the way to the north. You see there, Eren and Scarface currently topping the leaderboard in terms of damage, which is a surprising statistic for me. They've been very, very consistent throughout. I'm glad to see Eren there. Hasn't quite beaten out Scarface just yet, but I'm glad that Scarface has been the rock so far for Ulf. He has kept that team steady throughout. The suspension system for the Ulf vehicle, which will need to make a move down towards the south side of the map, but it gives a good game here for Aurora, who have been baiting us for multiple years for a massive win at an international, and they might just be giving us it here at PMWC, at EWC 2026.
God, we keep getting these sort of circles, man. Once again, right, you hit the nail on the head. It's happened. Suvnovka, the military island in play. Like you say, maybe this is the blessing. Like perfect drop spot, perfect end game potentially for a team like Aurora, who do feel like they've kind of locked it in a bit. So we'll see. We'll stick with it. Potential for a lot of early fights. You got Flash taking on OG early as Aru's already down. Tiamba amongst it as well. A couple of squads looking to get stuck in instantly then.
The revolver to the dome there. Well, unfortunate for guys over on OG. Flash seems okay though, get themselves back up on their feet. Like you say though, we got Aura on screen. Eagle. Explosive bow. Almost hit it as well. A little bit of pinpoint accuracy with the arrows.
ओके ये 10वां मैच है
Some ammo across.
इसके बाद 2 मैच और
Everyone's a little bit low.
ये भी रैंक है ना इसके बाद 2 फाइनल मार पाओगे।
might have been actually just dropping some of the bandies over. Well, Sleepy is having a troublesome time getting towards them. I think he's in an awkward spot. Sky, though, is coming in from the other side of things. He's over towards the north side of Severny, so this is a long exit for both squads. I don't think any team wants to be here. Tiamba, as well as Aura, stuck in this awkward engagement. Eagle with a Honey Badger at distance on the sidelines. E-Arena also swinging by, but they should get gone.
Very much an early stalemate that no one really wants to overly commit to. With that first domino to fall, it's going to be a nightmare. You want to get out of this very cleanly as well. Losing one or at worst two players, even if you do take down the other squad and get a full 4 points from it, this is going to be a major detriment to your run with how few games we have left today.
Yeah. Well, I think the big